sports fans, and thank you for listening to State of My Sports, where we talk about State of Michigan sports and State of Michigan beer. If you aren't following us on social media yet, please do so by searching State of MI Sports. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast along with our YouTube channel so you do not miss an episode. For even more content, check out our website, stateofmisports.com. Before we get into the episode, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. The Hops Brewing Company and Cafe is the official brewery of State of My Sports. Siciliano's Market helps us pick out the best Michigan beers for each and every episode. Also, Caleb from Mac Web Design helped us get our website created. So check out all of our sponsors and let them know that we sent you. We are back.
We're
Couple weeks off. I was tired. I needed a little break. No, we're back here, ready to talk some sports. We've missed a lot. You know, the Michigan Wolverines made it to the Elite Eight. We'll talk a little bit about that run real quick during our introduction, but then we're going to jump into some Lions transactions, some players that have moved on, and a lot of shakeup in the draft order here as well. So we're going to get into that a little bit, and then we're going to have Mock Draft 3.0, which is always a good time. We might even do 4.0 next week, and then 5.0 the next week.
Please do.
What are we like? I mean, it's coming up. I think we're like 3 weeks away. 3 weeks on Thursday, I want to say.
It is coming up quick.
That's coming up real quick, and I'm so excited, man. I love the draft time, and we'll talk about what we want to happen. We'll categorize it a little different than what we have in the past, but we'll get into that. And then of course, Tiger season in full bore here. What are they? 5 games in, 3-2. We're going to talk about some of the players that made the roster. That was a little bit of surprising. Some players that maybe got sent down. That is interesting. Just kind of talk about the lineup in general. We don't really want to break down the games too much, but we got to talk about, what is it, Badu or whatever his name is? Oh,
yeah, Akil Badu.
We're definitely going to bring him up in what we've seen so far from him.
Love it.
Anyways, we're also going to have our Betting Hero segment. We're going to have some fun talking about the Masters. We're going to build our Masters meals like Dustin Johnson did, and then we're going to actually have a fearsome foursome draft between the 4 of us. Draft style like we do Masters. I don't know, make it a little interesting. That'll be our Betting Hero topic. And, of course, we're going to grade some Siciliano's Market, Michigan. But that is a long introduction. Remember when I started recording introductions to try to cut it down, and then I just go like 3 minutes?
Kept going.
Just keep talking?
You're doing great.
Yeah. I had to get
last thing, is that what I'm supposed to worry about?
Yeah, 3 weeks in. Or there's 3 weeks worth of an introduction for sure. But we missed our listeners. I hope you guys missed us. Not too much. But anyways, we're excited. I'm Sam Waltert. With me today we got Micah Smith, Ryan Waltert, John Dornboss working behind the scenes. I mean, let's really just get into it. Do you guys have anything exciting in your lives, or we all boring old guys now, right? We don't really have a whole lot of exciting stuff.
It's getting warm out.
It is getting warm.
I'm really excited about that.
I just spent all day mountain biking, going over the biggest jumps of my entire life.
Where'd you go do that at?
Cannonsburg.
Cannonsburg. Okay.
Yeah, they've got like a really cool skills park there, and there's only one area that's I don't know, seems a little bit too big for me at this point, but we were hitting pretty much everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a healthy scare though.
Did you fall in any of the jumps?
So I only fell in one jump, and it was just the dumbest little thing, and I always do that. I always fall on the dumb thing that doesn't have any consequences, and I just like roll out of it, and it's no big deal. But on like the big scary stuff, no, I don't fall on that. Yeah.
I don't know if I would ever dare to go off a jump.
I don't think you could do the little stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll take you sometime. When I get a really nice full suspension bike, you can take my hardtail.
Yeah? That sounds awful.
See, I would want to try it, but if I start standing right next to the jump, I'd start talking myself out of it.
I would talk myself out of it halfway, and you got to commit. Like the second you have a doubt, that's when you're going to really F your head up. Yeah, and that's what I don't want to do.
The best thing you can do is follow somebody in, because then you know the speed, you know exactly how it looks. Yeah, so we can make it happen.
We'll follow you.
I feel it. No,
we'll follow Sam.
Ryan's like, if I was following Ryan, he'd be like, "Oh, I'm going to screw this guy. I'm going to go
way
too fast." And make it really tough on him, because he's going to be trying to match my.
He's going to dart to the side at the last second, and we're going to end up hitting it and just biffing it.
Oh, man. It sounds awful. It sounds fun.
It was a good time.
Yeah. That's good. Other than that, I'm just so excited to just do some yard work. I'm excited. We got rain in the forecast here in the next few days, and then the lawn is going to be beautiful. I'm so excited. Get some all the chemicals down, or not really chemicals, but Sunday is what we're using this year, right?
Yeah,
Ryan and I,
organic
we're-
stuff.
Yeah, we're trying something
What?
new. So usually I have a local company do all of my fertilization. But Ryan talked me into Sunday, so it's like an online thing. What is it exactly?
I mean, it's just it's like an all natural fertilizer for your grass. They give you like the weed killers if you need it, and I don't know. It's supposed to be just a little bit healthier so you don't get all those chemicals in your ground. And for my wife especially, like there's no way she would let me do something with all the chemicals and everything. So
Can you use it on Sundays?
It has to be on Sundays. Everything is scheduled for Sunday.
there you go.
No,
Makes
but it's actually
complete
cool because you even dig into the ground and like you
Just
send
avoid
them,
the Sabbath.
you send them your soil, and then they like run all the tests on the soil so they know what you need to improve it.
Yeah,
So,
we don't live in Zealand.
Nice.
Yeah,
Neither do I.
I'm excited. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to do it myself. I feel like it's a big boy thing.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
And we'll do it together, right? It'll be good.
Absolutely.
But I did want to talk Michigan basketball. So kind of talk a little bit about their run. So they beat. They had a win against Texas Southern. They won 82-66. And then all of a sudden people started talking about Michigan being on upset alert. They were talking about that pretty much right away with the LSU game. And they handled them pretty well. I mean, 86-78 win.
Given Livers was out too.
Exactly. And that's a big reason why they were on upset alert. And then they did the same thing against Florida State. They won 76-58. Like
that was a good game.
That was a very good game. And I think that was it felt like a turning point. It felt like that you started to believe that they could do this without Livers. You know what I mean? Because
time.
that's what we were seeing. We were seeing a teamwork without, that type of score. And then you run into UCLA, and then you realize why we were so concerned about not having Livers. They lost 51-49. That is not a high school score. That is college basketball
real
Elite
score.
8 score. And that was, I think, disappointing. And I look at this run as a whole, and I don't really want to get into Michigan State. I don't think Spartan fans are going to get on us about not talking about them. But I mean, with Michigan here, it was, you say you're going to go to the Elite Eight. As soon as we lost Livers in the Big Ten tournament, if we said, hey, we're going to have a nice little run, we're going to go to the Elite Eight, and we'll see type thing, we'd be like, hey, that's pretty good expectations. But the way that it happened, the loss to UCLA, how bad they looked, how much that game could have been a completely different story, or at least it feels like it. It felt like a little bit more of a letdown than what I would have taken an Elite 8 run heading into the tournament. You know what I mean? And then it just felt like
it's a lot of conflicting feelings because, if they were to lose against like Florida State, it might feel a little bit different because they're a pretty good team. They're really well coached.
Yep.
UCLA, not to say they were a bad team because, you felt really good about that Elite Eight game because you're going up against an 11 seed UCLA.
Yeah.
But they were hot. I mean, their top scorer, Juzang or whatever his name was.
Yeah, he's a stud.
I mean, he was like 29 points or something. He was their offense in the first half.
Yeah.
And then, him and the point guard were basically their only options in the second half. The thing that hurts is how many opportunities Michigan had. I mean, that's by far the worst game that Mike Smith played as a Wolverine.
Definitely.
Yep.
That might be the worst game that Wagner had
played,
as a at least this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I'm not to say he didn't contribute defensively, but I'm just saying like offensively, man, those guys really struggled. And if they had any say, we still had a shot. We still had really two chances
Several
at the
shots,
end. Yeah, where we still could have won that game.
Yep.
And I think it, being such a close game, that's why it's so hard to swallow. But then you see how good UCLA really was the following game against Gonzaga. This absolute powerhouse of a team, undefeated going into there, and then they had to have a miracle shot at the end. Granted, it was a little bit different, 93-90, but still that close game, and it just showed that UCLA was kind of prepped for this. Like they were having that miracle run. Everything was going their way, and I don't know. I mean, Elite Eight, Michigan, not that bad.
Not bad.
It seems like we should have gotten to the Final Four, and I would expected them to lose against Gonzaga.
Yeah, definitely. Especially the way Gonzaga played. They were hitting every shot. There was no way Michigan was going to be able to keep up with them the way UCLA did in that Final Four game.
Just give us a chance.
Yeah, but I think my biggest focus, and you guys know where I stood with Juwan Howard and the hire and the questions I had, this was kind of the last straw for me with him and being like, this dude's a legit coach. He's good. He coached this team so well in these tournament games. Specifically the LSU game, That game was close at times, and then he knows his team, and he did a very good job with that. Even in the loss, I think he was a very good coach, and the team just let him down. And you hate saying the team let a coach down because it's kind of the opposite usually, but like he coached them up, and there was some wide open chances. Even the last shot by Wagner, it was a well drawn out play. They just missed a shot. Dickinson missed a shot earlier in that little sequence there. So it really came down to the players just missing the shots. So for me, it's like Juwan Howard is the real deal. That was the last thing I wanted to see was him coach in the tournament environment, and he did a very good job. I'm curious what you guys thought about that one.
I think there's no question. I think last year it kind of was, floating around in the back of everyone's heads going, is this kind of just a lucky year for him? But he continued dominance throughout this entire season.
Yep.
And showed he can coach when Isaiah Livers went out. I mean, he had Brandon Johns step in. You got to give Johns some credit to how he played. But in the end, it was really all on Juwan's shoulders. Really.
Well, and that's because so much of the offense ran through Livers.
Yep.
So he really had to change the mindset of all these players and change the expectations of all these players. And he coached around the circumstances.
Yeah.
And they were number 1 seed with all the pressure in the world, and they were playing some good teams in there. LSU was a good team. Florida State was a really good team. I think they're better teams than actually UCLA. So
yeah,
they were just
that's
hot.
the part that really hurts the most.
Yeah, it is,
You
and
lost
that
to
is.
the
Yeah,
second worst team you played in the tournament.
but UCLA was very well coached, and they got hot. I think as far as a coach goes, the way Juwan Howard handled this whole situation after Isaiah Livers went down, going into the prove it time period, he proved it, and I really think again Final Four would have been one of those things that would a little bit legendary, not necessarily. So, but do they hang banners for Final Fours?
They
at
do,
Michigan?
yeah. I don't know if they do at Michigan. They do at most schools, except for UCLA. I remember
Except for
hearing
UCLA,
that.
yeah.
I don't know if Michigan does. I believe they do,
I'm pretty sure
which
they
I'm
do.
not a big fan of. But I mean,
that would have been really cool though, to hang the banner
yeah.
in this kind of year, especially losing Livers. But again, I mean, they almost came out of their bracket. They were really close. He did a really good job of just coaching around the circumstances.
Yeah, and what they were heading into the season, that he coached his team up to be the Big Ten champion, regular season champion, and a very good team and a true contender. And I think that's the real key is he took a team that was 8th, let's say, I think is what they were projected to be in the Big Ten, and he coached them up to play well above their heads, and I think that's really exciting. What's going to happen when he starts bringing in his guys, his recruits, even more so. Transfer portal, he did a great job with the transfer portal. Can he do it again? What's going to happen with all these guys? There's so many questions, but what we know is we have the coach that can, bring Michigan to a level that I don't want to say Beeline couldn't, but it's like it's going to be every single year. This was their last year being underrated. You know what I mean? This is their last year of being, 5th to 8th in the Big Ten. They're going to be first, second, third type thing in the Big Ten, and the Big Ten is still a very good conference. I know it didn't show well in the tournament, but it is
they're
what
great.
it is.
It was fluky a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say it. I think Juwan proved this year, Beeline was always the guy that his system would win games and get him far into the tournament.
Yeah.
Howard will get the guys.
Yep.
Howard is number 1 in the nation this next year in recruiting, not even close. You look at the recruit numbers, it's not seriously not even close. They're getting some really big time recruits in, and the system works. That's what's so exciting about this. It's not one or the other; it's one and the other.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's really exciting for sure. Last thing was really he got the Coach of the Year in the Big Ten, and I think it was the National Coach of the Year as well. I put AP, but I think this is the same thing.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So good for him on that for sure. It is time to introduce our Michigan beers for this episode, but before we do, I want to remind everyone of our partner, Siciliano's Market. They are simply the best beer store in West Michigan, located on Lake Michigan Drive, right between Grand Valley State University's main campus and downtown Grand Rapids. Wherever you live in West Michigan, it is worth the short drive for what they have to offer. Whether you know what you want or need some help from their expert staff, Siciliano's Market is the best place for that. They not only have a massive and up-to-date inventory of the best craft beers from across our great nation, they are individually priced so you can mix and match to build your own six-pack. They obviously have a great selection of craft beer. They also also have specialty wines, spirits, ciders, coffee, tea, tobacco, and cigars. Siciliano's Market also has the largest selection of homebrew and winemaking supplies in West Michigan. We love that Siciliano's Market is part of the State of My Sports family, and it is who we visit to help us choose our Michigan beers for each and every episode. So please check them out and let them know that we sent you. All right, so what we are doing today, we're drinking some different beers. I'm drinking from Shorts, double soft parade. So obviously they're very popular. Soft parade. What they did is they doubled the fruit. It's their fruit ale brewed with double the strawberries, double the blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries. I mean, who wouldn't want to try this, right? Shorts. I mean, their soft parade is their biggest thing. They have the soft parade shandy. They have the soft parade seltzer. They have the regular soft parade. Now they have the double soft parade. That seems to be a new trend here in these local breweries. You know, is they're kind of taking what's done really well and putting a new spin on it to see if they can reach a new group. So, double soft parade. That's what I'm drinking today from Shorts Brewing, and that is in. Where's that? Somebody help me.
Elk Rapids?
Bel Air.
Elk Rapids, Michigan. Brewed and bottled by Shorts Brewing Company in Elk Rapids, Michigan. But there's also the actual breweries in Bel Air, like you said, Micah. Ryan, what are you drinking over there?
Yeah, I'm drinking M43 from Old Nation. Old Nation is in Williamston, Michigan. So, I mean, this is a very well-known IPA, 6.8%er, 65 IBUs, and I'm enjoying it already. I don't know if I really need to go any further. If I keep talking, I'll probably spoil the result at the end there.
Right,
But
that's a very, very good beer.
yeah, it's great, yeah.
Micah.
I'm drinking from Big Lake Brewing, their Tangerine Haze, a juicy New England IPA. It's brewed with real tangerines and Citra and Mosaic hops. This is so hard to read. It's white on orange. I can't really read it. But there is an American flag, and that makes everyone really happy.
You gotta love the American flag. You can't go wrong with that. So also we are going to all drink Peep Patch from Arvon Brewing Company. It was part of their Easter series. They have so many cool cans. I love what Arvon does with the holidays and all that stuff. They come out with Halloween candy, flavored beers. Now they have the Peep Patch, which is their obviously Peeps. Everybody knows Peeps from that. So it is their kettle sour with blackberries, strawberries, Peeps, and lactose. It is 5% alcohol by volume, and we all know how much we love Arvon sours, right?
Big fans.
So we're all going to grade that one at the end of the episode as well. But what we're going to do now is jump into our Detroit Lions and just kind of some transactions over the last couple weeks. If we're repeating some from the last time we recorded, I apologize, but there's some big things happening. Players leaving, players signing, trading for players, all that good stuff, and then we're going to kind of dig deep into the Lions here. But what I wanted to bring up to start with were some players that signed elsewhere. It was wide receiver Kenny Golladay. Last time we recorded, we were talking that the rumors were that he was only getting like 1 year offers, and the Giants were one of the big names that were talking to him and saying that this is what's going on. He ended up getting the 4-year deal, $72 million with the Giants. I mean, that's the kind of money I was expecting him to get, and why I didn't want the Lions to re-up with him.
Yeah,
because that seems like an awful lot of money.
Yep.
But good for him in that way, and that's kind of where I'm at. He can leave. I know it's a kind of a bitter taste in our mouth the way it all ended. It would have been nice to already have a deal in place, all that kind of stuff. But where the Lions are at, where he's at, it seems like good for both parties. Couple other things that have happened. Matt Prater, our kicker, he signed a 2-year deal with the Cardinals, so he is gone. He was, I don't want to say automatic. He had a rough year, but he's been a staple, and I think he. I remember
he was automatic. Not maybe not this last year.
Yep.
But he was.
He was clutch for this team.
Absolutely.
And that was great to see. And I remember when we signed him, so he was coming out of Denver. He had those alcohol issues. Lions, I think, lost their first 3 of the first 4 games, and all of them were because of field goal kickers. I want to say it was David Freese or something like that. Was that the guy that we drafted that was cut in 2 weeks or something like that? And there was a couple other names, and then we brought in Prater after his suspension was up, and he's been there ever since. And that was He was also great. He was great to have. But they did sign a new one that we'll get into in a minute. Darryl Roberts, cornerback, he signed with the football team. And then wide receiver Mohamed Sanu
It's a joke.
signed 1-year deal with the 49ers. Not really anything big with either of those guys, but some people that are joining the Lions. They signed backup quarterback Tim Boyle from the Packers. He got a 1-year, $2.5 million.
$2.5 million. What a
That seems
freaking
like
waste
a
of
lot,
money.
right?
Yeah.
And we still have David Blau on the roster. Am I right on that?
Yeah.
So
Really?
this is our third quarterback now, and what this does to me is, and we can talk a little bit about this. It throws quarterback out the window. Like, you can't fool anybody that you're going to take a quarterback now, in my head, because you have 3 on the roster. You have a decent amount of money wrapped up into these guys. You're not going to bring in somebody now. You're not going to just burn this $2.5 million, eventually cut Tim Boyle because you drafted, let's say, Trey Lance or Justin Fields or whoever's available. We'll get into that mock draft 3.0 in just a bit. But I hate this move. This is the first move that I'm like, what in the world is the point of this? You could have got Tim Boyle or the less than or greater than equal to whatever Tim Boyle the day before the season starts, and it wouldn't affect your season. It seems like a big old waste of money, and it's closed the door, I want to say, for the quarterback.
I want to say this has to be one of those locker room deals that maybe we don't understand, but maybe he's a leader. Maybe he's the perfect, sidekick backup quarterback, because people talk about the job that backup quarterbacks do in film sessions and everything else. Maybe he's that guy. I don't know. I hate spending money on a backup quarterback.
Right? It's the
if
worst.
you lose your quarterback,
lose the games.
lose the games. Yeah,
Right?
especially in the Lions' shoes.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're like a top contender, let's just say you're the Packers.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
I understand spending some money on a quarterback, because if Aaron Rodgers goes down for 3 games, you don't want that 3 games to be the reason why your team does not win
to make the playoffs.
or
something
exactly, or
along
be the
those
1 or 2 seed. Like, you don't want that excuse. But with the Lions, my goodness, like, who cares?
It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
It makes absolutely no sense. You cut Chase Daniel, you burned that money, and now you just signed another quarterback for similar amount of money. Look, I don't know anything about Tim Boyle. I don't care to know anything about Tim Boyle.
Nobody
I don't care if he's great. Like, he's not going to be great enough to win. He's not going to win the job from Goff. So basically, he's battling with David Blau to be on the practice squad or be in the locker room. And like you said, it could just be a locker room move. I don't want to lose a lot of sleep over it.
Right.
But it just
Dan
seems
Campbell and Brad Holmes seem to have a plan that seems to be part of bringing in the right guys. So if he's the right guy and he's great for the locker room, all right, I guess that's worth $2.5 million. I don't think so, but if they think so and it works out, I'll move on.
Yeah.
It seems like the only logical move is that they saw something in him that they didn't see in Chase Daniel, that they wanted in a backup QB for some reason, some philosophical reason that they have for coaching. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Chase Daniel, last
It
quarterback,
seems early,
right?
though. You could have done this after the draft.
So
and-
how
and
much did
left
Chase
that.
Daniel help the Lions in the last few years?
I mean, he lost the
You-
games that he played in, so
Right.
that was
so
good.
so that was good. Right. Exactly. And anybody could. David Blau was better at that, actually.
I mean, if I were the Lions, I would have called Jared Goff and be like, "Hey, do you have a
Makes no
brother? Because I'd love to keep the money in the family. We'll just pay him someone that you get along with.
Yeah, you take a
We'll
pay
pay him.
cut.
We'll pay
We'll
him
pay
$1 million, and we'll call it good. Your brother will be making more money than he ever thought he would. You know what I mean? Like,
But
or his cousin or something. Just bring in somebody that gets along with Jared Goff that keep the money in the family, in my opinion.
in the end, it doesn't make sense what you were saying.
Do it after the draft,
the
too.
whole Chase Daniel
Do it
cutting
after the draft.
Chase
that makes
Daniel
a lot of sense.
that money and then signing another backup QB. That
let's
doesn't make
move
sense.
on though.
Yeah,
I don't
all right.
think that's that consequential, but it's annoying.
It was
$2.5 million.
It was the
it's annoying.
first decision by them that I was really like, didn't seem like the right timing. But one move that we really like, Michael Brockers. So they traded for defensive tackle Michael Brockers from the Rams. The Lions sent 2023 7th-round pick to the Rams for Brockers, and then they signed him to a 3-year deal worth $24 million.
This is part of the Goff deal and Stafford deal, right?
No.
This is separate?
This is completely
I
separate.
thought he was a player to be named later. I thought he was.
No, only baseball does player to be named later, I think.
Okay, I'm way off. Either way,
no,
I'm
this
pumped
was-
about this.
Yeah, so I mean, this I think is a huge move because it filled a massive need at defensive tackle, and he's a very good player. And it sounds like he's a locker room guy that is great to see, right? I mean, I really think it's a great idea. Bring in this guy that can be a leader in a position of need. Now you don't have to worry about this in the draft. You don't have to try to sign anybody else. You went out and got the guy you wanted, and you got him for pennies on the dollar for this guy to go get a true starter in a position of need from the Rams. He's a good player. He's part of the focus of the organization with Brad Holmes and all that good stuff. So
with their defensive scheme and all
perfect.
the new stuff.
Perfect move.
Yep.
Jamal Williams signed. He was the Packers' backup running back. Oh, really? All right. So he signed a 2-year deal worth up to $7.5 million. You like this signing?
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah.
All right. Can you tell us why?
Well, now we don't have to spend a draft pick early on in a draft to get a guy this talented and valuable, and we're not spending a whole bunch of money. Like this is $3.25 million per year.
Yeah.
Or 3.5, 3.75.
You're getting a lot of talent for that money.
Yeah.
And really, this is a workhorse. This is a 3-down back potential. Like if we lose Swift for a period of time, he can pick up the slack. I really feel good about this.
Easily pick up the slack. Yes.
So the only thing that I don't like about it, and I for the most part I like it. I'm not going to be mad about spending that little bit of money on a veteran quarterback or running back that can still bring value to a team. I love that. But I'd rather take a flyer on a 4th-round pick, bring in another body. You know what I mean? Like, let's say the guy from Colorado, that running back. His name escapes me. But, like, if you can get him at the 4th round, totally worth taking a flyer on a guy like that. When you have the running back room that you have with Swift, Jamal Williams, and Kerryon Johnson, I think it's still there. I mean, that's one of the names that nobody really knows anything about. But it's like, that's already a packed room. So you bring in a 4th-round pick. What did we do last year with our 4th-round pick? I think it was a 4th-round pick. We drafted him, and then we ended up releasing him, and he went to the Eagles, the running back.
Fifth round.
Was it a 5th? Okay. Yep. Either way, it's
Returner.
like you want – like I would love to take – running back's the perfect position that you can find a steal in the 4th, 5th round, and he comes in and he's a contributor.
Yeah, but
right now he's not going to be because you don't want a 4th running back in the room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, but when I look at this deal, what this says to me is this is also supporting Swift.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
it's
this
only 2 years.
And he's a team guy. Like he's been the backup basically his whole career. He's never been the lead dog, so he can play that role really well. And I mean I just like listened to some of the comments that the coaches were making, Brad Holmes was making about him, and even just some of his interviews that he's had. He is like a high energy, go get it kind of guy, and I just love that. That matches what the organization's going to. Yeah, with Dan Campbell. This seems like his hand-picked type of running back with his personality, and he's like a chip on the shoulder, like people count me out all the time.
Yeah,
and that's perfect. Yeah, build that, and it doesn't cost us that much money. I get that we're spending some money at the running back position, but I'm sorry, it's a valuable position.
Yeah,
and
it
with
is.
Switz, injury concerns.
Like you said, he's a highly energetic guy, and he's a super positive guy to have on the team. Big difference.
If you listen to some of the Packers' reactions to him too, like the locker room loved that guy.
Yep.
Yeah,
they just thought he was a difference maker in the locker room. He was a high energy guy who everybody loved. He came to work every single day. So I love the move.
Yeah, another side. Obviously, I was kind of arguing against it. I don't hate it as much as I was kind of arguing. But like another thing, it's like now you can use that 4th-round pick that we could have taken a flyer on a running back and fill up our defense because you can get valuable corners, valuable secondary, valuable depth guys on the defensive side of the ball with that pick instead. So now it's another question mark that is filled. Same with defensive tackle. We don't have to address that if we don't want to. Running back, you don't have to. Heck, you kind of be mad if you did now, right? So I like that. I like that you scratch that position off the list of needs. You don't have it, and you don't have to sign a running back off the street that's overage like we did last year with AP. You don't have that. You don't have any of it, so you can kind of move on. Real quick, I want to run through some of these names that we've did. Randy Bullock will be the new kicker. Brashard Perriman, Perriman's son, right? Like
That's Brett Perriman's son.
Brett Perriman's son, right?
Yeah, I love that.
1 year deal.
Also, last episode that we recorded, you gave me 10 of those options of the wide receivers that we
Was he on there?
He was on there. He's like 3 or 4.
So you're not happy with it?
No, I said if there's anybody that I would want to take, it would be Perriman. One, because of the Lions thing, he's got a little background there, and 1 year, $3 million. It's a no-brainer. He's a huge upside wide receiver.
All right, Charles Harris, the defensive end, I believe. I don't have that written down for some reason. Basically, he was told to just go get the quarterback. That's going to be his job. Just a depth guy. Don Muhlbach coming back for the 18th season. That's great. Fill in the wide receiver room with Khalif Raymond and Damian Ratley. I mean, these guys don't really get me excited, but they're filling the needs.
They're speed guys.
And yeah.
Where's
yeah,
Raymond
is that
from?
what it is?
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, if someone wants to look up where he's from real quick while I go through the rest of the names here. Linebacker Alex Anzalone. Never heard of that dude. I'm not going to pretend that I have. But then here we go with
dude, Anzalone is a guy from the Saints. He's from the Saints, and he's actually a really big pickup. I really like him.
Really?
He lost his starting job last year because they brought in a really big time. They traded for a linebacker midway through the year, but he's like a speed linebacker, but he's like 245. So he fills both needs. He's really underrated signing. I really like him.
All right. And then sign a couple corners here with Corn Edler. He signed a 1-year deal, and then Quentin Dunbar, also a 1-year deal. You like both of those?
Dunbar.
Dunbar's a good signing.
Sorry, John. I think he looked up. Did you look it up for us? I thought. Oh, sorry. I thought you were
yes.
Thought you were getting ready. You were getting ready to talk.
Khalif Raymond, career 19 catches, 369 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Where did he play?
2 years with the Tennessee Titans. Probably like a 4-string wide receiver.
Yeah, even more, like 6 or 7
That's a
string.
team that's been looking for wide receiver depth for a long, long time.
Look, I think what the Lions have been doing is they've been filling roles with guys who have not had the opportunity in game situations quite yet, but with a little bit more, like a higher upside than just the standard normal wide receiver. He is a speed guy.
Okay.
He did return. He was their returner for a while, a couple of years, I think. And what I think they're doing is, if they do go get their number 1 wide receiver out of the draft, then these other guys can kind of fill the gaps, like a Marvin Hall type. But Quentin Dunbar, just real quick, 2019, he was the second highest rated cornerback from Pro Football Focus.
Really?
Second highest rated.
He was with Seattle, is that correct?
He was with the Washington Redskins at the time,
then.
yeah.
But I thought he was with Seattle.
Well, last year he was traded to Seattle.
Okay.
He only played 6 games with them, and then he ended up getting a surgery on his knee, I believe it was.
Okay.
And they basically, he had a terrible year. His stats were awful last year with Seattle.
All right.
But they said that they had to just get him out of there because he needed to go fix his knee. And if you watch the tape, it is obvious that he was hobbled, he was struggling, he was like limping on the field for all 6 games that he played. And I really think this is a really underrated signing. There's no risk to this signing, and there might be a huge reward.
That's what I love about just these signings in general. A lot of 1-year deals, low amount of money, nothing crazy. They are focused on the long term of this build.
People you can move at the deadline.
Exactly. That's another good part of it. But these low money, 1-year deals, expiring contracts, it's show me. It's show us you deserve to stay in this league. Otherwise, we will draft somebody to replace you.
Well,
and that's what I really like about this.
And a lot of these guys have previous experience with the coaching staff or with Brad Holmes. So they were on their radar this whole time, and all they need is the opportunity, at least from the coach's point of view. And, again, they're bringing in their staff. They're bringing in guys that they know they're familiar with, and the more that they get out of these guys, like Quentin Dunbar is a perfect example. He was expecting the sign and trade to Seattle and end up being a long-term deal. He didn't get the long-term deal, and he was mad about that. So if this can be the 1-year deal that turns into a long-term deal with the Lions, if he likes the culture, that's the perfect guy to get.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
He did also have a run-in with the law. I know his charges got dropped, but I remember him running into something along those lines. I don't remember exactly what it was, probably assault or something like that. But
probably.
That's usually what the football players
It's football,
do.
yeah. It's a dangerous sport, man.
I remember it getting dropped.
CTE.
So we'll see what happens with that. But anyways, I do want to get into the mock draft 3.0. You guys ready for this? We're gonna do a little different here.
Do it.
Basically, we're 3 weeks away. A little over 3 weeks as we're recording here on Tuesday, but it's April 29th. It's coming. So the last time we recorded, there have been some, I think, major changes. I mean, this changes the whole landscape of the draft. This is basically what I expected to happen last year with a lot of trades and stuff like that, but it's happening before draft day. And that's crazy because what that's telling me is, let me just get into it and we can talk about it. First of all, 49ers traded up to number 3 for the Miami Dolphins pick that they got from Houston. I mean, who doesn't trade up to 3 for a quarterback, right? That's where my brain goes.
Oh, they're taking quarterback.
They are taking quarterback.
100%.
They love whoever the third quarterback is on the board. My assumption,
Justin Fields.
Trevor Lawrence, no doubt, number 1. It sounds like Zach Wilson's getting number 1. I don't think that I
number
feel
2.
like that's number 2. I don't feel like that's even a question now.
No.
So here we are at 3. They're going up to get a quarterback. From what Schefter said he is convinced and he would be shocked if it isn't Mac Jones,
which is insane.
That would be awesome.
Skyrocketing
that would make
up
me
the board.
so freaking happy. His pro day was garbage. I don't understand how he's still
Dude,
skyrocketing.
he's the next Tom Brady.
That's what everybody's, well, let's take him at 3.
He's gonna stop eating.
He's
gonna stop eating tomatoes. Anything that has that one thing in it, like at nighttime or something. And
he's got such a gumpy frame.
Tom Brady.
I mean,
it's just.
So are you saying you like Mac Jones?
I actually do like him as a quarterback. I don't want him as on my team, but like I would not be surprised if he goes nuts and just is an awesome quarterback.
Yeah, I don't know. I
don't know. It's just one of those gut feeling things.
49ers would be a good spot for him to do that.
Great
I
spot.
love Shanahan
Great
and the way
spot.
that he runs the offense.
You know Shanahan's going to get his guy too.
Yeah.
He's not going to let the pressure of the media or what everybody's expectations
Correct.
are change his opinion on this. What's weird is if it is Mac Jones, you think he could get him at his normal spot.
I'm very surprised. I would have loved to see them let the draft play out and then move up to 7 to take Mac Jones. Like that's where that was kind of my my thought with this whole thing is like Lions at 7 as the draft starts playing out and you still have Mac Jones and Justin Fields on the board. That makes 7 that much more enticing. I don't see it as enticing to people now.
But 1, 2, 3, we know our quarterbacks.
Right. And then that is very, very interesting.
That's huge. The rest of the field is untouched at that point. You're getting a top. So with the Lions at 7, with the top 3 going to be quarterback, really good opportunity for top 4 because the Falcons are shopping their draft pick there.
Yeah, I did hear that. Yeah,
they could get a 2 or 3 overall best player. Like if you're not counting the quarterbacks in this, for them the rest of the field, they could go get the best player in defense. They could go get the second best or best wide receiver
or the best offensive lineman
or the best offensive lineman. Like they have their options are wide open right now.
Yeah. So another thing that happened, Miami moved back up. So obviously they traded down, and then they moved back up to the where is it? 6th spot. So just ahead of the Lions. They traded with the Philadelphia Eagles to move back into 6th. They're going for a playmaker. They're going wide receiver. I would assume unless Penei Sewell's there, and then maybe they do something like that. But I mean, I don't want to get too much into all of this kind of stuff.
They could go Smith because of the Alabama connection.
That's true. But then the big news yesterday, Carolina, who's the pick behind the Lions, traded for Sam Darnold from the Jets. I mean, that's a lot of moves right there. Because another thing that I think is important with the Lions, before we get into kind of what we're going to talk about here today, the Lions pick was valuable because people thought Carolina Panthers were taking a quarterback. They thought that they were going to take the best one available, Justin Fields if he's there, take a flyer on Trey Lance, something like that. So the Lions pick was even more valuable at 7 because who wants to trade up and get ahead of Carolina? Now Carolina's not doing that. I feel like they traded for a guy that they believe can be their franchise quarterback or a quarterback that can hold for 2 years until they find their franchise quarterback. That makes me so freaking mad that happened because I think, again, I look at this Lions spot at 7. I just want to trade down. That's the ideal situation, and I feel like everything's falling out of place for that to happen. Time will tell. Anyways.
All right. So what I think this means more than anything is we're going to have to wait until draft night to see what happens. I don't see a move here. Nobody's going to trade with the Lions to go get a quarterback at this point
until draft day.
Until draft day, yeah, because 4 is still available, 5, 6 they're all still available.
Yep.
So and even 8, So when we get to this 7 point and Justin Fields is still on the board, I'm not going to rule out the fact that somebody wouldn't trade up to go get Justin Fields, especially maybe a little bit lower than we're thinking.
Yeah.
And it's on the table at that point. But I think our pre-draft trade opportunity is kind of gone at this point.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with that. So the new order: Jacksonville Jags, New York Jets, San Francisco 49ers moved up. You got the Atlanta Falcons at 4, and that's really when the draft, I think, officially starts, is at 4. You got the Cincinnati Bengals 5, Dolphins 6, Lions 7, Panthers 8, Broncos 9. That's the one that I find interesting, is you got the Broncos that could take a quarterback, or they stuck on Drew Lock. Time will tell on that. That's an interesting one. But at that point, they don't have to trade up, because if the Lions aren't taking a quarterback, Carolina's not taking a quarterback.
But somebody else might.
Somebody else
and
might.
the opportunity, the draft night opportunity, that's going to be the trade.
Yeah. That'll be really interesting spot. And like you already brought up, Ryan, is the Atlanta Falcons are already shopping their 4th pick. Because right now everybody knows who's going to be on the board starting at 4, right? That's where I feel like the league knows this. So it's basically, who do you want? Is this like, come take your best player available outside of these 3 quarterbacks, and we can start
And I
talking.
think Justin Fields available at 4 is
interesting.
Big time.
Yeah.
Do you not think that Atlanta could take a QB though?
They could.
If Justin Fields is there, it's possible. But at this point, I feel like they would have moved on from Matt Ryan if they were interested. Similar to the Lions, I feel like Matt Ryan and Matt Stafford were the same in that way with their organizations.
I see more like Penei Sewell or somebody, I don't know, even like Jamar Chase. It'd be stupid for them to go wide receiver with the weapons that they have.
Yeah.
But I don't put it past them. One last hurrah with Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
They've done it before.
It's possible.
I feel like they need a lot.
Yeah. So let's focus a little bit here now on the Lions. We're going to do it a little bit different. Instead of, us all making our pick at 7 based on a specific mock draft, what I wanted to do is basically, I got a list here. I got Kyle Pitts, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and Micah Parsons. Those are the names that we're looking at here. Basically, what I want to know is, who is your run to the podium? You pick this guy at 7, no questions asked. You are, bar none, just happy. You know what I mean? Happier than a pig in crap. This is exactly who you would want at 7. Then we're going to go down to pleasantly surprised, and we'll take...
Is that a saying?
I think it's supposed to be the S word.
Oh, okay,
I
got
think
it.
so. Then pleasantly surprised is there, and you can't pass him up type guy. Trade down and pray that he's still available. I want to know where you guys would trade down to in hope. And then basically a guy or position type thing that you just will not take at 7. If you don't want to get into this, I get it with being more of a Packers fan.
Fine.
But what I want to start with is basically run to the podium, and I'll start with this one here for me, Ryan, and you can jump in if you want. But for me, it's Penei Sewell. If he is there at 7, I cannot pass that guy up, and I am running, and I am figuring out a way to make that offensive line work with Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell, because that is massive for a guy like Goff that has the decent enough talent to make plays when he has the time. I mean, that tells me you're going to have a very, very, very good offensive line like that. Like, you went from, let's say, top 12 offensive line to top 5. If this guy's legit, which it sounds like he is. So that's where I run with run to the podium, and you can't pass him up.
I think that's a great pick because Penei Sewell will not drop very far in this draft. I think guys like Devontae Smith, Micah Parsons, they might fit really well with the Lions, but they also could fall to 12, 13, or 14, 15 in the draft.
Yep.
So I think Penei Sewell is a really good pick. I'm going to pick Devontae Smith. I just think his skill set at wide receiver is the perfect match with Jared Goff, and I think he's the perfect number 1 option with the combination of wide receivers that the Lions have built around this system. Like, the lack of talented wide receivers, I think having a number 1 at this point that can create separation on their own will take a lot of pressure off of Jared Goff.
Okay.
And because defenses have to worry about his top-end speed, but also his normal workload, like over the middle or short routes, I think that also puts more pressure on the defensive backs to stay in front of the speed guys that they've been picking up. So I think he's a really good match. I know that's not really probably a very popular pick, but I just think Devontae Smith is perfect for this offense.
Okay, so I'm curious what you think. Would you take Devontae Smith over Kyle Pitts?
I would, not because I think he's more talented. Again, I just think he fits more of what the Lions actually need. I think Kyle Pitts might actually have, I don't know, it's arguable who has the better traits that will translate better to the NFL.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts will be a very talented route runner.
Yeah.
He's not a standard tight end.
He's not going to be a tight end.
But he's also more of a Hawkinson type of tight end.
Which we kind of already have.
Kind of already have. Yeah, exactly. And I think Hawkinson is extremely talented. I think he's been underutilized at this point in his career, and I think we can get more out of him and pair him with a guy like Smith. I think he's more impactful in the end. I don't think Kyle Pitts will be so impactful immediately.
Okay. Mike, is there a way you would roll here for the Lions' sake?
I like your Penei Sewell pick. Yeah, it's not the sexiest. It's never the sexiest to go with an offensive tackle or an offensive guard, but it is a great pick. I believe so much in the trench play that I think that is a great pick, but I'm going to still side with Ryan with the Devontae Smith pick. I just think he's so dynamic in every way that he would complement TJ Hawkinson and help Jared Goff out getting to that next level. I think the Devontae Smith pick would be genius. I mean, as long as he is the star that everyone thinks he is.
Yeah, I guess that's where I would. So I'm going to go down to my pleasantly surprised is still available, and I'm going to go with Kyle Pitts. And I would be 100% okay with taking this guy. I know it's not popular to take another quote-unquote tight end, whether he becomes a wide receiver or not. But this guy is becoming my true draft crush. You know what I mean? Like, from what I'm hearing, from what I'm seeing on this guy, he's a freak. And that's, like, if his hands don't translate, his body 100% will. You know what I mean? Like, there's no question about what you're going to get from this type of player in the NFL, and it will translate as long as he's in the right system. And I don't know. That's the kind of guy that I'd be like, if he's still there at 7, I get it. I'm not going to be mad. I understand that people might be, but like that's the one that I'm going to be like, okay. That's the playmaker that I think could really make a huge difference, whether he plays in the tight end position. And I completely understand the Hawkinson comparison. We already have that type of guy. But then I go back to, and I know it's a little different with the Hernandez-Gronk comparison. A lot of people like to go with that. I feel like it's a different type of body scenario. But at the same time, it's like that 2 tight end set does work. And if you have 2 guys like that, then you can have your Julian Edelman.
Oh, yeah.
Your any old wide receiver that can be good in this league when you have to worry about the tight ends.
Run this way,
the guys
then that
that are
way.
doing, you know what I mean? Exactly. So that's kind of where I'm like, I don't like it, but I like it type thing. Like,
and it takes a little pressure off the running backs too at that point.
That too. So I mean, is there somebody that you're just kind of? I feel like we're pleasantly surprised with all of these names, right?
That's the hard part.
That's the hard part with this whole. And I probably should have went a different direction.
Well,
with
and
our
I think I'll go Jalen Waddle just because I really expect him to be there. It's not that I don't expect him to be gone, but if the guys on my list personally, if they're gone already at this point and Waddle is left between him and Parsons, I guess you could really say, I would be pleasantly okay, I guess, with drafting either one of those guys. But I'm going to go with Waddle because I think there are some limited options at wide receiver in this draft where I really think the Lions need to take advantage of the opportunity they have with wide receiver.
Okay.
And Waddle and Smith would be that kind of a guy, but Waddle is a dynamic player that gets open. I just want wide receivers that get open on their own, where they can catch a ball in space and keep on running and make it a big play. And that's Lions haven't had that since Calvin Johnson.
Mm.
And it doesn't feel like we've made it easy on our quarterback. Stafford has had to just thread the needle so many times, and you cannot live that way. And Goff, his strength is to hit guys on the run as they're moving, as they've already created space. He does not throw people open.
Yep.
From what I've seen.
Okay.
So I think take advantage of the Alabama guys. If they're available, I'll be pleasantly surprised.
All right. I mean, really, is there a name on here that you feel like we can trade down. And it obviously, you trade down to 20, none of these guys will be available. But, like, reasonably trade down, say the perfect scenario comes about and is still available. For me, it's Micah Parsons. That's the name that's like, I'd still be okay with taking him at 7 because it is that much of a need, and he is, I believe, that good of a linebacker and game-changing for our defense in that way. But if we can find a way to trade down to, let's say, 10 or 12 or 15, and somehow this dude's still available, that's dream scenario for me. You get a guy, top 5 talent, I think, without all this craziness with quarterback type stuff going on and wide receivers that don't usually go top 10. Like, you have a lot of crazy stuff happen in the top 10 that doesn't usually happen. You're going to get a very, very talented guy. 10 or 12, I mean, is 15 out of the question with the Patriots spot if you can trade there?
He could be there.
It's very well possible.
The best part about Micah Parsons is he's the best linebacker according to most people. It's still arguable, but he's also arguably the best pass rusher if you were to move him to that spot. So I think he's flexible enough. If you build your team to have solid linebackers, let him go. Let him do his own thing. Go after the quarterback. He could be versatile enough to fill the need that the team needs at that time.
Yeah.
I would love to have him. If we trade down and Parsons is still available, I'd love it.
All right. So the last one is somebody that we do not want to take at 7. For me, I lean quarterback. I don't want to take a 5th or 6th or 7th best quarterback in this draft.
Justin
I don't
Fields?
want to take a flyer. Justin Fields is
the hard one.
That one, he probably could have fell on that pleasantly surprised, and I get why you take him. In my head, the way that they're building, it doesn't make sense to take a quarterback because of all of the transactions that they've done and the way that they're building the roster now. Quarterback screams you're all of a sudden taking a different lane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like they've set their lane. They've made a decision on the way this organization is going to go, and we're all buying into it. We're all enjoying it. And then the second they take a quarterback, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, or something along those lines, that's when I feel like they are going off of their path. That's my opinion from outsider's perspective. There's a very good chance that it's all part of their plan, and I'm being fooled. But basically, that's where I feel like it's just the change-up that I'm not ready for, and I'd be a little uncomfortable taking is a quarterback.
I just think Trey Lance is that guy. Absolutely.
I would almost be angry with Trey Lance.
Yes, because he's a project, because he will take some time, and that's not what we're looking for. In the end, he might be the most raw, talented quarterback in this group. I don't care. I don't want that kind of a project at this point.
I agree.
If Goff does not work out next year, we're going to be in the same situation. Draft a quarterback.
Yep.
Do not spend it on this year.
Let's say 4 quarterbacks. You're going to have 4 teams that are convinced that they have their quarterback of the future. That's 4 more teams, maybe 5, that are not drafting quarterback next year. They're going to be the people that the Lions are competing with for the top 1 to 7 in the draft picks. If they're all already have their quarterbacks, they're not going to learn anything this year that they're going to bail on a top 10 pick. So you have all these teams that are going to have their quarterback of the quote-unquote future. You got your choice of the litter.
Yeah.
Whether you're at 1, whether you're at 5, 7, wherever you land in there, you can get a very good quarterback, and you have a second round or a first round pick. So you can move up if you have to. That's where I'm at, and that's where I'd be almost angry if you take a quarterback.
Yeah, I think if you took a quarterback this year, it would almost scream like it was like a panic move. After the attainment of Goff, after restructuring his deal and all this other stuff, why would you go through the hassle of drafting a quarterback? Given that, how many years are left on his deal?
Goff, I think it's 3 because they restructured, right?
Okay, 3 years, just
might be 4.
I mean, what would be the point? You have a young guy; he's talented.
I think it's 3.
Is it 3?
I don't think Goff is consistently great. He's a good quarterback.
Yeah,
write it out.
I agree.
Why not?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no point at all to draft a quarterback right now.
Yeah. So, John, last time we did mock draft. We did mock draft 2.0. You were big on Justin Fields. We're kind of, I think all three of us are on the same page with no quarterback. I mean, are we convincing you that Justin Fields might not be the way to go, or are is that a hill you want to die on?
I had him under pleasantly surprised.
Yeah,
take him at
so
7.
did you have all of the? Do you want to give all of them to you? So run to the podium. Who's your guy?
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase. All
I'm
right.
with you guys on drafting a wide receiver. I just think he's got the frame.
And then pleasantly surprised you said it was Justin Fields.
Justin Fields, man, he showed out at his pro day.
He did.
I think
He
he's good. I think he's
good.
I think he is
underrated
good,
right
too.
now.
Also, I mean, you traded Matt Stafford to get draft picks, right?
Yeah.
I think organizationally wise, you got to think I got to use one of those draft picks to fill that void, replace him. I don't know that Jared Goff is the guy personally, but
Yeah.
that's why, Justin Fields now, a lot of uncertainty going forward with like contact sports and pandemics and stuff like that. I think you just take him. He's a sure shot. He's got a cannon. Trade and pray. I had Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
I mean, just hoping that he slips.
No, yeah. I would love to see Lions trade down, get more assets, and then still get that type of playmaker in that much of a need. Like, that is a dream scenario for me. But anyways, next week we'll probably I want to get into a little bit more mock draft stuff next week. Episode 100. That'll probably be our only sports topic next week, unless something crazy happens with trades and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, what we got to talk about now are our Detroit Tigers. The 3-2 Detroit Tigers, baby. I mean, you can't go wrong with
Heck yeah,
that,
dude.
right?
Tigers crushing it.
So really, I mean, I usually last week we would have had our season preview where we kind of give our don't forget about player and breakout player, all that kind of stuff. The ship has kind of sailed on that. So what I just want to do is kind of talk about the starters, the bench, and some players that aren't there, that all that kind of good stuff. You know, I talked about it earlier. But basically, I want to start with the starters. You got Wilson Ramos at catcher, Miguel Cabrera first base / DH, Jonathan Scope at second base, Candelario. I mean, he's 100% at third base. Willie Castro at short, Robbie Grossman in left field, Jacoby Jones at center, Nomar Mazara in right field. The first thing that I wanted to talk about with kind of these the starting lineup that we saw on opening day was and kind of going into the next couple days was Miguel Cabrera at first base. I thought was very interesting, and then on top of that was when Miggy went to DH. I think it was game 2. What they did was they moved Scope over to first base and opened up second base for Nico Goodrum. I want to say.
Yeah.
So what my focus there, what that tells me is they want Candelario to be their third baseman, and he played a lot at first last year. He did a good job. I thought he improved, I think is the way to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a big thing to me that stood out over the first couple games. Ryan, starting out with that, I mean, what are you seeing with this starting lineup and kind of what you've seen the first few games?
Yeah, I mean, I think the starting lineup, you're relying on guys like Willie Castro. He's been basically hitting 2 or 3 in the lineup every game so far. Cabrera is, he's the highly paid guy. He's been around. He's an absolute legend, Hall of Famer. So he's going to be in the lineup, whether at first base or DH, no matter what. But it was interesting seeing Scope go to first base because I feel like you have a couple of guys on the bench. I mean, we're talking like, Harold Castro and Nico Goodrum both have first base experience in the past. So it is interesting seeing those guys move to second base and then Scope going to first base in his absence. It kind of threw me for a loop a little bit, especially because I think that was the first time that Scope actually played first base
Yeah, it was his
in a
first
major
career
league game.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting too, and I don't hate it, but I don't like that you're making room for a guy like Nico Goodrum. I feel like you could make room elsewhere.
I think he's Nico Goodrum is his role right now is what he is really best at. He's not an everyday player. He should play, 60 to 80 games a year and be a utility guy. Same thing with Harold Castro at this point. I really like the utility type of infielders that they have on this team. But what I'm really liking is this outfield depth so far that I've been seeing. And, I mean, so their starters, again, Jacoby Jones, Nomar Mazzara, and Robbie Grossman. I think Grossman's a really good veteran pro guy to have on this team. I think he's just stable.
It's interesting that he's batting leadoff, though, right?
Well, not every game. He hasn't been hitting leadoff every game. But I really just like him in the lineup in general. I think he's got a really good approach, and he's a professional hitter, even though he started off really slow. I really think people are gonna fall in love with Nomar Mazzara. Mazzara is a beast. He is a huge body. He was 21 years old, I think, when he made his debut with the Texas Rangers.
Okay,
and he was basically all circles. Every scout that had a handle on the 21-year-olds in that class, he was easily the best hitter of that class. And he was head and shoulders above everybody. And I think his upside is so much more than people understand. This is like, I don't really even know who to compare him to because the Tigers haven't had a guy like this in a while. But, but I want to.
All right. Well, while you're thinking about it, what I wanted to bring up one more thing with and kind of going to who didn't make the team, and keep thinking of who you want to compare him to. I want to know who it is. But like the whole Candelario at third thing, I think that's the biggest reason Isaac Paredes didn't make this squad, and that one's very interesting to me because he played so much last year, and I thought he showed well. He was similar to, I don't know if he's similar to Mazzara, but he's a big body. He looks big. He looks intimidating in that batter's box. And I thought he didn't look out of place last year. And that's why it's very interesting that he didn't get an opening day roster spot. Time will tell when he gets a chance. And I don't know the whole logistics of protection and all that stuff. But I think that was the biggest positional player name that didn't make the opening roster.
Yeah, and I think that's okay. You know, he's really young. He is a very, very good prospect. Part of what makes him special is his plate discipline, his pitch recognition, and it almost seems like the Tigers are trying to keep him out of a Nick Castellanos situation, where he comes up and he's expected to do this, and he might hit 260, 270 with decent power, and the fan base is going to be a little disappointed.
Against him. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you keep a guy like, he's like 22 years old, 23 years old maybe, you know, I was playing college baseball when I was 23 years old. Like I can't imagine playing in the pros and just having your body. I felt like I was still getting better, number one, and also my body was still getting stronger and developing. So the fact that you have 22, 23-year-old kids, in my opinion, that we're relying on to be these special athletes and you know, upper echelon of in the MLB is pretty insane. It really is. I mean, like maybe basketball because you see that early and one player makes such a big difference. But baseball, it's like, man, these guys haven't even seen these type of pitchers before. So I think easing them into this is kind of okay.
It's a good way to go.
Yeah, I think it's just fine. And it's not like he was hitting 350 in the minors. You know, he's a good 300 hitter in the minors. Let him keep growing.
All right. Some bench players, Victor Reyes, Harold Castro, Nico Goodrum, who's going to kind of be that utility guy, and Grayson Greiner getting the backup catching position. I found that one interesting because I feel like Jake Rogers was kind of that guy that people were excited about, I want to say 2 years ago. And then he came up and struggled, and he looked out of place again his time last year, and he doesn't seem to be panning out. And that's really the biggest thing with Grayson Greiner is I feel like the upside with Jake Rogers was there. Grayson Greiner's just kind of like his upside isn't like as exciting, but he's steady. You know what I mean? That he's kind of that he's just going to be that placeholder
perfect
until
backup catcher.
Dingler comes in.
I don't think Jake Rogers is done quite yet. He's still young and he doesn't have a lot of experience at the upper levels of minor league baseball. He didn't get that opportunity last year, and then he was in the pros last year too. And that's a lot to ask especially from a catcher. It's not like he's a huge hitting prospect. I'm kind of okay with that. Let's ease him into this. Especially Dingler too. It's the same kind of thing. Like we don't need, especially with signing Wilson Ramos. Like we have a little bit of time here.
Okay.
So I feel pretty good about that. I do want to bring up JD Martinez. I think is maybe the best comparison
For Mazzara.
for Nomar Mazzara.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
Mazzara has upside that is 40 to 50 home run power a year.
Really?
He really does, and he just has great hitting upside.
Okay.
And he's a big body again. He has the launch angle to make it all happen. Something hasn't been clicking, and he's like 25 years old, 26 years old. Like
Okay.
he has plenty of time to figure this out still.
Yeah.
And that is the situation that we randomly ran into with JD Martinez with the Tigers not that long ago, with, coming from the Houston Astros. They knew the power was there. They knew the upside was there, but they didn't have. He hadn't put it together quite yet. And Mazzara's basically a league veteran at this point, but still young enough to, when he does put it together, it's going to be scary good.
All right, one more name that I didn't bring up originally was Akil Badu. Everybody has heard of this guy now. That's been paying attention to the Tigers. Awesome, exciting to see him make the team. He was the Rule 5 pick from, is it Minnesota? Yeah, he was part of the Twins organization. So the Rule 5 pick, for the people that don't understand, he was drafted in the Rule 5 draft, and basically he has to be a Tiger the whole season long, or the whole season long. Is that how you say it? The whole season?
For the whole season?
The whole season. I probably
For
should
the whole season.
That was
For the whole
sorry.
season long.
The whole season long. You guys should have saw my pour earlier. It went everywhere. It's one of those days. But anyways, it seems he's going to be up, but and not even talking about what we've seen so far with his fun 3 games that we're excited about. We'll get into that. But like he earned it out of camp. And I
sure did.
My brain went to Victor Reyes back in 2017, I believe, is what you told me there.
Yep.
When we picked Victor Reyes in the Rule 5 draft, he was up, and he was completely out of place. I don't even know. He's not even on the – or no, he is on the roster, right? Yeah, he is.
Oh, yeah.
But he's still battling for a backup position, all that kind of stuff. It feels different than Victor Reyes. Victor Reyes he stayed a Tiger because he had to. If you brought him back down, they would expose him, and they would go back to whatever team he was picked from. It doesn't feel that way with Badu as much, because it felt like he earned the spot to make the team out of camp, and he's going to be here for the long term. So what do you like about this guy, Ryan?
I like that he wins games for the Tigers.
Yeah, right.
I mean, his first pitch, first
oh my God,
major league pitch of his career, he hits a home run opposite field.
Awesome.
It was insane. And then the next game, he gets to start again, and he hits another home run.
Grand slam?
And then, Grand Slam, you're right. And then today, he did not get to start.
No.
But he came in extra innings.
Yep.
And he hits the game-winning walk-off single,
so
RBI single to win the game.
Who did they walk in front of? Was it Grossman?
I
don't remember who it was. I guess it doesn't matter.
Don't remember.
They walked somebody in front. I think it was Grossman. They walked somebody in front of Badu, and then Badu came in, and he hit the walk-off. Man, that was just what a start to the guy's career. Like, it's so fun to watch his parents in the stands, high-fiving and like having a great time. So cool. And this dude, he does it all too, right? Like, he's fast. And the crazy thing about this guy is he was playing single A ball. Like, it was high A ball.
High A.
To the pros.
Yep.
They're all
he
pros.
He missed 2020.
Yeah, missed 2020 to the MLB, to the show. And that's a pretty cool story. I hope it lasts. I mean, we'll see. I don't want to expect what we're seeing these first 3 games like to be consistent. He's going to have his lows. He's going to have trouble in the dog days of summer, all that kind of stuff. But, I mean, pretty cool. Pretty cool story. Pretty cool that he's a Tiger.
It's an awesome story, and I just want to bring up a couple points. So, one, the Rule 5 draft is I feel like the Tigers have nailed it with this kind of a pick, because it is a guy who, if they pick him up, they're paying the club that lost him, so the Twins in this case, $500,000.
Okay, I didn't know that.
If he does not stay on the roster for the full season, then the 25-man or 26, I guess, the active roster for the full season, then the Twins have the opportunity to pay the Tigers $250,000 to take him back.
Gotcha. Okay.
So he is. There's really no risk here. Like, you're getting a guy that's 22 years old. This is his 5th year as a pro because he was drafted out of high school. And there's no reason not to take a flyer on him, especially with the Tigers where they are right now.
Yeah.
This is not a this is not a guy that the Astros would want to take because he more than likely he wouldn't make the team.
Okay.
You know, but for the Tigers, yeah, this is exactly the guy. And we have brought it up time and time again with the Tigers in the state they're in right now. You know, when we talked about last year, it was not about Casey Mize and Tarek Skubal and maybe Matt Manning even. It was about trying to find the Harold Castro, Willie Castro guys to step up that would end up being really good pros in the end. And we need to find those random guys that will come out of nowhere. And this is the perfect example of a former second-round pick, Akil Baddoo, to come in, have an opportunity to do something, and take advantage of it. It does not mean that that he will never be an amazing pro just because nobody knew his name before this. It doesn't mean that he's outmatched, one-on-one versus the pitcher every single time he goes to the plate. It means that he can now prove it as a Tiger.
Yeah.
And if it works out, there have been absolute superstars. JD Martinez was another one of those guys from the Rule 5 draft that ended up being a superstar MVP caliber player in MLB, and he just had to figure out mentally. And Baddoo has a chance to do that with the Tigers right now. He obviously has set himself up to be on this team for the full season as long as he keeps bringing the energy and winning games for the Tigers.
I'm excited about the guy, and I'm excited because I feel like as soon as Jacoby Jones gets hurt, which he will, because that just happens, he could become an everyday starter here for a little bit, or at least the right matchups and all that kind of stuff.
Our outfield has depth right now.
It really does. I mean, you got Victor Reyes, who's no slouch. I don't want he's really
not
that bad. Akil Baddoo, obviously. Nico can play in the outfield, and I believe Harold Castro can as well. Right, he plays, or is he more of the middle infield?
Mostly infield, yeah.
Okay,
but everywhere.
I think he played in the outfield last year, though.
I think he did a couple games.
But anyways, I that's worth talking about there as well. Torkelson, Green, they didn't make it. We'll see where they end up. It's all part of it. Yeah, I mean nobody was expecting to. It'll just be interesting to see where they get assigned to once minor league season officially starts. But let's talk a little bit about the rotation here. You got Matt Boyd, Tarek Skubal, Julio Terrena, is that how you say it? Terran, Jose Urena, and then, did I already say him? And Casey Mize, bringing in the rear there. Casey Mize is really the big one, I think, that we wanted to talk about. Didn't have the greatest numbers, but I thought he showed pretty well today in his first start.
That's what it is.
I brought up the fact that I didn't think he was going to make the squad out of camp mainly for protection or the contract purposes. I'm glad that he's there. I really am.
I told you, dude.
I'm glad that they're ready to do it. They're not worried about all of these control years, anything like that. In AJ Hinch, I feel like is the biggest reason for that. This dude, this manager, he's the real deal, and I'm. So that's the best signing Al Avila's ever had in his entire life since Alex Avila's second contract or third contract, whatever he got.
Since Alex Avila.
No, I love AJ Hinch, and I feel like his fingers are all over what's happening with this organization. But sorry, I got distracted there.
No, I do too. I think the fact that you have Casey Mize and Tarek Skubal, two of the top three prospects within the Tigers organization. I mean, I know. I
don't think Skubal was really part of the.
Yeah, I mean, pitchers wise, because Matt Manning is the other one. But you got two of these guys making the big league rotation right out of the gate. That is huge to me. Like that tells me that he wants to compete right now, and he thinks it's for the benefit of the player itself. Himself, that they can go out there and compete and learn in the big leagues rather than the whole 1 year extra control. Yeah. And if they have a good year this year, sign into a freaking long-term contract.
As well, that's what we're seeing more and more often.
Yeah, you see it all the time. Yeah, if you believe in the guy, sign him.
Yep. I think it's the right decision. I know I questioned it, but
we talked about
100%
it. 100%
perfect.
We talked about it, and we did say we basically landed as a podcast that two of these pitchers out of the top three would make the big league squad, and that's exactly what's happened right now. And it's because they've earned it. They're ready. They've had the big league. Especially these two guys, they've seen the big leagues. They have this expectation within them. They should know how to prepare themselves at this point. And I don't think Matt Manning's that far behind.
Yeah. But the only problem with Matt Manning here, and this is going to be my next thing, is when Spencer Turnbull becomes available. So he's on the COVID list. He's not available right now. He's going to be a part of this rotation. It screams 6-man rotation to me. I feel like that's what they're going to do, especially with the young arms, with Turnbull, Mize, Skubal. I mean, you have 3 young arms that you want to protect. You want to control their innings, all of those things. And then you also want to keep these guys, these older guys with Urena and Teheran. You already said
Tehran.
Tehran. I'll learn it if I have to. We'll see.
You should.
Like,
he's good.
But like these guys are on short-term deals. They're basically show us and then we'll trade you. And right now, there's a 6-man rotation coming up, right, Ryan? Is that fair to say? Because none of these guys are going to lose their job.
I think Casey Mize is probably the number one culprit. It could be the culprit. With the first start that we saw out of Jose Urena, it's possible that he could lose his job too. But I think more than likely you see the top 6. And usually you have one starting pitcher that's injured at some point.
That's true, yeah.
So I don't think we're going to go to a 6-man rotation. I think it'll be 5. But I think the Tigers are thinking more long term. Okay, if we're gonna save Casey Mize, hold back some innings later in the year,
skip a start here and there.
Skip several starts here and there, especially early on in the season. If you have 6 healthy starters.
All right, so I did want to talk a little bit about the bullpen. I don't want to get into a whole lot of it. I just think there's some interesting names that are worth bringing up.
I wouldn't go too deep. But
yeah, so I want to start with. Sorry.
Go ahead. Because Fulmer's the one that
the big one
sounds
for me.
good. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see. And so they had him labeled more as long-term relief, but it seems like he's kind of coming in crucial situations.
7th, 6th, 7th.
Yeah, like kind of the gap guy, not necessarily the 8th, 9th inning guy yet. I mean, with how the 8th and 9th inning has gone so far,
he's the weapon guy.
He's the weapon. He's the crucial out guy. And I love that opportunity for him. It'll be interesting to see how it works. Do you think he has the stuff to kind of do that, Ryan?
He absolutely has the stuff, yes.
Yeah.
And I think this is a really good opportunity for him to hone his stuff and make each pitch better individually. And what you see, the difference between starting pitchers and relief pitchers focus on what they do well. Starting pitchers try to mix in several pitches at a time. That you need 3+ pitches. So if you have 4 pitches like Michael Fulmer does, he needs to dial in all 4 pitches in order to last 6 or 7 innings.
Yeah.
So that's what he focuses on.
Okay.
This gives him the opportunity to focus on his top 2 pitches and do it better than all the people around him.
Okay.
And I think that's a really, really good opportunity for him because in his heart he still wants to be a starting pitcher. He's come out and just said that, he's embracing this role temporarily and he wants to come back to the starting rotation.
It feels like he still could.
And it absolutely does, but dial in your fastball, dial in your curve / slider, and if those 2 pitches are working, you can mix in whatever else you need as a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
But what's been missing from him is his fastball command and his fastball velocity.
Yeah.
And so if he gets that back, the rest will fall into place.
And it almost feels like trusting his pitches too. And believing in himself, believing what was so good with when he was the rookie of the year, all that kind of stuff. If he can dial in his trust and belief in what he does and what was successful, that's when he can, start bringing it back and really become a starter. And like, I mean, the way that you have these prospects coming up, there's a really good chance he's not a starter in the Detroit Tigers organization again. There's a very good chance of that.
If he doesn't do it soon, yeah.
But if you can turn him into something, if you could turn him into the next, who was the guy that was a starter that we transitioned to, 8th inning guy, then turned into a closer, Shane Green.
Yeah.
Like obviously completely different type of pitcher, and I get that. Fulmer doesn't seem to have that edge like a late inning guy, but at the same time, like.
Yeah, he does.
You think so? I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see how this develops.
He's got better stuff than Shane Green ever has.
We got Gregory Soto currently in the closer's role, it sounds like, with Jose Cisnero in the 8th inning role. That has not looked good. That has not looked good at all. So I don't think. Cisnero looked terrible, right? Isn't he the one that gave up?
I like these guys. I think they're pretty good.
Okay,
yeah.
but anyway.
And Brian Garcia?
I would like to see Daniel Norris get an opportunity in crucial situations like these guys.
Dude, have you watched him pitch?
No, I don't know what I'm looking at when I watch him pitch. I just like their hair or something.
He needs to attack the zone. Like, Daniel Norris is the perfect example of a guy who just has like forgotten how to attack the zone. He tries to stay out of the strike zone. He like dabbles with it here and there. Guys just take it. He gets down on the count, and then he throws a fastball over the middle, gets shot 450 feet over the center field wall, and it's not even close. Like Norris, he deserves to be in the bullpen to give a shot, to transfer his skills elsewhere. He's not a starter, not anymore, but he needs to. He's not a late inning guy at this point. You need to earn that, and he hasn't earned it.
Okay. John, you look like you're getting prepped up to say something here.
Norris is the kind of guy that'll go to work without work gloves, right? He's a hard worker, doesn't care about the callus, but he got shelled like 7 hits in a row against the Indians the other day, and it was just like, man.
And his stuff looked terrible. I'm sorry.
Throwing a 91 mile an hour meatball down the middle of the plate.
91.
So I look at pitchers, and I just feel sorry for them when they get hit.
Yeah, when they throw 91, I do too. Like I feel like I wish I was a hitter at that point.
Poor guy. Like, and I
Especially
just
as a
want him to
lefty.
work out. He's got cool hair. He's a cool dude. He's got a nice beard. I just feel sorry for him. I just want him to be good. Your mic's off, I think, Micah.
Your mic is off, Micah. I
didn't do it.
I think
I didn't turn his mic off. I swear.
Gregory Soto has the best hair on the Lions
That hair
roster
is
right now.
fire.
So.
Holy, it literally is fire.
Lions
if you're gonna pick
Tiger.
or the Tigers, yeah. If you're gonna, well, he looks like a lion. He's got the hair. If you're gonna pick a guy off his hair, Sam, it's Gregory
All right,
Soto.
just saying. Did you guys see that pitch where he threw it literally 30 feet above the catcher?
I missed it. I
oh
I
my
saw it come
gosh!
up on my phone like this is the worst pitch of all time or something like that, and I'm like, but it's a Tiger. I'm not gonna.
So good. I love it.
That's how you keep batters off balance.
I was gonna say that is an uncomfortable situation for batters to be in. I've been there. I've done that, and you just don't want any part of it. And I love it. He's got that little edge to him where guys do not feel comfortable in the box.
Well, who was that kid that played in Western Little League? Nolan.
Yeah, Nolan.
He was terrifying. You had no idea where the ball was gonna go. I stepped back in the farthest corner of the batting box and was like, I don't know if I should close my eyes or what's going on.
He threw hard.
Anyways,
travel guy.
Ryan, before we turn the page from the Tigers, is there anything anything else that we should really bring up here heading into the season? Obviously, we're 5 games in, but anybody to keep an eye on in particular that comes to mind?
Oh, geez.
You can say no. You can say no. We can just move on.
I don't think we have enough time for me to get into these guys. I think overall with the Tigers, this is an exciting time for them because we are going to find out. We're watching the core, the base of this team for the future, and these other prospects that we have coming up, they will come up, they will contribute, they will be really good. We are going to get more stars out of this thing, but right now we're building the core, the foundation of this franchise, and they're playing every day in Detroit, and that's what's fun. We've been waiting for this. We don't have those trash players at first base anymore. We don't have those like throw-in guys that are not going to be on the team long term.
We don't have Don Kelly playing every single day because we just don't have enough players to fill a roster.
Yeah, and
we have good MLB players.
Yes, exactly.
And I think that's really exciting.
There's a difference. We've turned a corner as far as that goes. Not to say we're not going to get a high draft pick next year, but it's just different than the last couple of years.
Yeah,
we're putting a major league roster out there.
Yeah, yep. I think that's really exciting, especially
with our pitching.
Yeah, because can go on good winning streaks. This team could surprise some teams,
and especially if we start getting our young guys up.
Yeah, and then the way that the Indians are taking a step back, there's no question that they're taking a step back from their every year thing. But then you also have the White Sox and the Twins that are still really good. But it'll be interesting to see how this season develops.
I just think next year is the year where they're going to be signing big name free agents.
Hope so, man.
And I think we're going to trade or sign big names that to fill the gaps that we don't have.
I hope so, and I would love to go over that list of who's going to be available. But one thing I did want to bring up real quick before we turn the page from the Tigers is I do want to just throw Al Avila on the coals again. I feel like I go back and forth with this guy. One day I hate him, the next day I'm like, well, he's drafted well and all that kind of stuff. I look at this team and this prospect organization, like I know we're second, right, in prospects or something like that in our farm system. I feel like it is very, very overrated, mainly because we have 3 of our. So what do we have? I think it's 5 in the top 50. I want to say I could be wrong on that, but it's like you look at the names. And 3 of those 5 are going to be on the Major League roster this year at some point, assuming Matt Manning gets called up. Well, all of a sudden, you only have 2 of the top 100. So, yeah, 5 of the top 50 sounds great, but next thing you know, you're about to have 2 in the top 100. And for what this organization has been the last 4 or 5 years, you should have a lot freaking more, and we should be developing these guys better. I like the drafting.
Man,
the
you really
developing
shouldn't
is
have gone
terrible.
there.
The developing has not been good.
You shouldn't have
And
gone
the trades have not been good. Well, sorry. Wait, what
Tear
do you
'em
mean?
up.
All right, you can tell me I'm wrong, but you
You
like
should
Avila?
not have gone there. We
What?
have had barely anything to trade with, and the guys that we have traded for in recent years, I'm talking like the last 3 years of trades,
All right, hold,
we have
wait,
crushed.
3 years.
We've been really good.
I'm talking about J.D. Martinez, who was a MVP candidate a couple years ago. Justin Verlander, Cy Young winner, World Series champion. Max Scherzer, we let walk for freaking who knows what.
After we offered
mean,
him 9 years
I know,
and
but
190 million.
We've had these pieces that have been traded, and we haven't got high-end players the way that you see these other
but we know that.
organizations do.
But we know
and
that.
that's what drives me nuts, because that's what this key is. So we have a GM who can draft the top prospects, who I would have drafted just with a simple Google search.
But who also just got Akil Baddoo in the fifth, what is it called, the 5th round or
Rule 5.
Rule 5 draft, and it looks at this point to be a steal right now. And this is not the first time. This isn't a fluke for this Rule 5 draft. And we're seeing some of the later round draft picks coming up. We have a lot of talent in this that are not just represented in the top 100. You get big names from the top 100. You will always get big names. It doesn't mean every top prospect in all of these different organizations are actually working out or putting up big numbers in the minor leagues. It just means that they're a big name in the minor leagues. So scouts fall into the same thing that everybody else does when they're looking at player rating, talent evaluation. They look at whoever everybody else is rating them. So don't necessarily. I think there's more to Al Avila than we always give him credit for. The 3 people that we traded, yes, agreed. Like the Scherzer, Verlander, J.D. Martinez crap, like, yeah, that happened, and nobody liked what we got out of those trades, especially the J.D. Martinez. It was just
That was the dumbest one.
it was
3 weeks before the
mind-numbing. Yeah.
deadline. Made no sense.
But at the same time, since then, the moves, I cannot argue with the moves that we've made, and so like give it a little bit of time.
A baboon could have made those decisions. Honestly,
I would agree.
That's the way I look at it, and I feel like these draft picks were obvious decisions. Torkelson, Riley Green, I think was a good pick. We'll see. He's still very young. All of that kind of stuff. Casey Mize was the obvious pick. But I mean, at that
Tarek
point,
Skubal was
he was a 5th round pick, right?
Ninth round.
Was it 9th? Okay, that was a good pick. But at the same time, it's like where are the true prospects that can rake? We have Riley Green and Torkelson. That is it for batting. And that Isak Paredes could be part of that. But at the same time, it's
Let's just call him Isaac. Let's just call him Isaac and get
I
over
don't know.
with.
I
Yeah.
feel like I
Where does he
decided
get
that was,
Isak?
that's what they say on the
They
radio.
they do say Isak.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I called him Isak last year because that's what everybody calls him, and then
I said
in
Isaac.
the big leagues they called him Isaac.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
We'll have to figure that one out. We'll
I
call
read
him
through
up.
the show sheet earlier when you were saying Isak. I'm like, I do not see Isak in here.
All right, let's turn the page from the Tigers before we make this go any longer.
Oh, it's long already.
No, and I'm okay with it. And I don't know. I was on my way home, and I started losing my mind over where we're at, because our organization looks good, but it's not deep enough yet. And for how bad we've been, it should be deeper.
Says who? That's all I gotta say.
Says
You
MLB Pipeline.
right now.
I think for once we finally got a coach that we can be like upbeat about, though, under the Alex Avila era. You know, you
Yep.
went from Jimmy Smokes to whoever else.
Gardenhire.
Yeah, Brad Osmus. Like
Osmus,
none of these coaches in the last like 6-7 years have been player coaches. You finally got Hinch in here, who's excited as can be about Akil Baddoo right now.
Badu.
And if you
Love
got
that guy.
Dabadoo.
if you got a manager that's excited about the young players, that changes the whole outlook on the locker room.
No, I think AJ Hinch is the key to this rebuild, and he is going to be very, very, very important.
So you like Al Avila again?
That's his best move of his career.
100%.
But anyways, we got some golf. We got some Masters. A little outside of our Michigan sports talk, but the Masters, what they do, they have the Champions Dinner, right? That's like one of the biggest traditions for the Masters in the tournament. John, big golf guy over here. We are not so much golf people.
Love golf.
He loves himself some golf.
I love golf.
Oh my god.
Sure.
But anyways, so what I wanted to do.
I played 27 holes this weekend. I'm not.
Did
gonna
you
lie.
really in April?
Yeah.
That's crazy. We'll see if I get out on the course at all this year. But anyways, so what the Masters does is they have their championship dinner, right? So the previous champion plans out their massive feast. So what I wanted to do here is first I'm going to read what Dustin Johnson. What are you giggling over there for? Talking about his shirt? You talking about Mickey's shirt? That guy's given up.
I'm so sorry.
He has given up, dude. It's insane.
I love it. That's what
awesome.
I would wear. Yeah.
It's awesome. He's just wearing like a corduroy, or is it corduroy? I
don't know, but I forgot.
Looks like a jean shirt.
Denim button up.
A couple weeks ago, he was wearing like a plaid suit.
Wait.
I'm so sorry.
And it was like 4 sizes too big for the guy. It was like they made that one time only, you know.
That's so
All
funny.
right, let's go.
Anyways, Dustin Johnson, he came out with his meal, and then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna name my meal. Mike is going to name his, and we'll see if Ryan can come up with his in time because obviously he didn't get the show sheet early enough 3 days ago. But anyways, Dustin Johnson's meal. So basically the way that they lay it out is the Masters Club dinner on April 6, 2021. The appetizers are pigs in a blanket and lobster and corn fritters. And then his first course is the house salad or Caesar salad. He gave people the choice. I don't like that. Make people decide if they're going to eat the salad or not, right?
How do you not have one you like over the other? I don't get it.
You like one or the other. It's not fair. All right, so then his family-style sides, he did mashed potatoes and spring vegetables, which is just a waste of space on the plate, if you ask me. His main course, filet mignon and miso-marinated sea bass. That was a very interesting one. Sea bass. I would love to say kick his butt, sea bass, but
Did Seabass really say that?
That is, I don't know, man.
Seabass is that guy.
And then for dessert, he has peach cobbler and apple pie with vanilla ice cream, which, I mean, both of those go great with vanilla ice cream, and it is served in the honor of Mr. Dustin Johnson. So what we're going to do now is, Mike, I would love for you to build your club dinner the way that Justin Johnson did.
Dustin Johnson.
Did I say that right? Dustin Johnson. I said it right.
Oh, I could have sworn you said Justin Johnson.
Did I? I might have. You never.
It's all right.
Was that the NASCAR racer?
Probably is.
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy. Oh.
Yeah. All right,
All right.
Micah, you are up. Build your Masters Championship dinner.
Well, I'm going to start off with a good app called Calamari
Ooh.
with another app, Traditional Chicken Wings.
Yeah, so we did 2 apps. We did
Two apps.
So for everybody, for people that are new here, what we decided to do is 2 apps, a first course, 2 family-style sides, main course, and a dessert. Your 2 apps were Calamari. That's a very hard word for me to read.
With a C, right?
With wings.
Yes.
Traditional. So bone in, is that what traditional means?
Yeah.
That's really dumb. I don't like that part. You lost me there. I don't like in the bone, but the bone, man. That's where I draw the line.
I thought you meant the actual word traditional.
Oh, no, I'm okay with tradition.
You lost me.
I'm not a big fan of traditional wings.
Okay, we're going to move on to,
right.
You got the first course listed before the family style sides, right?
Oh, yeah, I do. My apologies.
Or do you want me to go family style sides?
Do what you want to do, buddy.
Okay, let's do the family style sides. We're going to go with garlic, mashed potatoes, and asparagus. Absolutely love those sides. First course, we're going to go chicken Caesar salad. Very nice classic.
Very good choice.
And then the main course, this is where I get so happy and just fallen to love with food. It's a tomahawk ribeye with mushrooms and onions.
Okay. What is tomahawk ribeye? Is that just a fancy way to say ribeye?
No, it's a certain cut and marbling.
Why is it a tomahawk? Where does that come from?
It's kind of shaped like a tomahawk. Like it's got the the big bone and the big chunk of meat.
Oh, like Flintstones.
Yeah. So I mean, it kind of looks like a tomahawk of meat,
All right.
which is great. And then my
dessert?
dessert, I'm rolling it up with the tiramisu.
Ooh, a little fancy there. Is that the one that they caramel, like they do the blowtorch on?
Yes.
I get very confused with tiramisu and the other.
Wait, did I say the wrong thing?
Which one?
Your sister would kill us if we didn't know.
What?
Yeah. So okay, the pudding one where they caramelize the top.
That's
whatever
one
that one is.
I feel like that's tiramisu, right? Or is that creme brulee? No, that's creme
No, it's
brulee.
creme
So
brulee.
is yours
Okay.
actually creme brulee?
Yeah. Yes. I'm so sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Boy, that's embarrassing.
Oh, dude.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely not tiramisu. Even though tiramisu's pretty good.
What is tiramisu? I don't even know.
I thought it was like a fancy cake, wasn't it?
Oh,
Or
is it?
isn't it?
I have no idea.
Okay. I want creme brulee.
Creme
Please.
brulee. All right, I'm gonna have to make that adjustment.
Thanks
here.
for saying something.
No, like I get those two confused all the time. Like that is
Yeah.
one of the biggest things. Creme brulee and tiramisu, Ryan.
Oh yeah.
We get those two confused.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know which one's which?
What is-
yeah, absolutely.
What is tiramisu?
Yeah.
tiramisu? Is like a more of a pudding style.
But they don't do the thing with the blowtorch?
No. They don't. Yeah, they don't do the blowtorch on top where it's like nice and crusted on the top.
So is tiramisu almost like a pudding cake-ish thing? Or not?
Yeah, a
not
little bit.
really?
Yeah, no, I mean it can be a little bit, but it's not. It doesn't have like the cake, like breading to it.
Okay.
It's
Right, but it's kind of got like a
John looks like he
almost
knows
like
all the answers.
almost
here.
like a cinnamon.
Just-
almost like a cinnamon on there.
Just give me
Oh.
mint chocolate chip ice cream. Would be
Is that what
good.
he's going?
a simple man.
That's not a bad choice.
Wait,
all right.
what did you go, Micah? You went with
I went with
He
Creme
changed his
brulee.
dessert to
Oh
creme
my
brulee.
gosh.
Well, because I thought I was talking about creme brulee when I said tiramisu, and I was so
and
wrong.
I figured out like we were on
honestly,
the same page
guys,
there. We were on
honestly,
the same
you
wavelength.
cannot go wrong with either one.
Yeah.
Both sound
Do
great.
you have yours ready, or do you want me to go?
I want you to go, but like
Okay.
I'm writing it down as I hear your
You're just
options.
gonna steal all of us. All right. For my
Did you wait? Hold on.
appetizers,
Did you say for the steak? Did you say tomahawk steak?
you
yeah.
did.
Oh my gosh! All right, go on.
Stupid decision. Why would you go tomahawk steak when you can go something else? All right. My appetizers: mozzarella
This guy.
sticks and boneless wings. Why would you have traditional wings when you can go boneless?
Because I had a really good experience lately
Yeah,
with
that's
traditional
right, you were
wings,
telling
so
me
I'm
about
like
it, yeah.
on this high.
All right. My first course is lobster bisque. I love lobster bisque. That is
so underrated.
So good.
So good.
So creamy. So much better than salad. No questions asked. I love a good Caesar salad, but not creme brulee. Where's my head? Lobster bisque. That is definitely where I'm going. My family style sides are mashed potatoes and corn off the cob.
Off the cob.
Off the cob. You can't mix it if it's on the cob. You put the corn on the mashed potatoes.
Can I ask
That's
about
how
the
you do it.
family style sides? Like, what does a family style
And
mean?
that just means you share it, I think. I don't know.
No sharing. No.
Or it's like it's in a big tub, and then they take a scoop and put it. That's
A
where.
scoop.
That's what you think. Like, can
Take
I?
a scoop.
I mean, that's
Can
my
I?
family
Okay.
style.
All right. Good.
What
All right.
would you think?
No,
family
no,
style?
I'm
curious
just
to
wondering.
What,
I'm wondering what
what
you're
is
talking about.
what kind of family style do you think? It
I don't know.
is?
I'm thinking more like, frick. I don't know.
He
something
doesn't
with
even know?
something with a shell. Let's
Something
just
with
say
a
that.
shell.
Yeah. Like mussels or something.
Very. Oh yeah. Why is that different than mashed? All right, never mind. I don't
Anyways,
even want
it's
to
a lot
know
different.
where your mind is.
Oyster.
Oysters. So my family style sides are mashed potatoes and corn off the cob, so you can mix it. And then my main course is the surf and turf, Oscar style filet mignon with crab cakes.
Oscar style. What's Oscar style?
I think it's like you have like asparagus on top, and then you have like I think it might be what's that sauce that goes on eggs Benedict?
Hollandaise.
Hollandaise. I think there's a little bit of hollandaise on
Wait,
it.
on the asparagus?
Yeah.
Are you talking about white
And on the
asparagus?
steak as well. I think that's how Oscar style does it.
Oh, it is. I mean, it's definitely hollandaise sauce.
But then the crab cakes are very key to this. You put it on top of the steak and you cut into
Okay, Oscar style is the beef
Dude.
tenderloin, crab meat, and fresh asparagus.
So the crab cake and fresh. I was close.
Yeah.
I don't know where the hollandaise sauce came from. Might have just been breakfast at my mom's the other day.
Which was good.
That was very good. She did a great job. And then my dessert is plain cheesecake. No fruit, nothing, just a great piece of cheesecake. I don't know if it's New York style. Like, when I Googled New York style, there was, like, fruit on it, and I didn't want that. I just
want the
straight, plain
cheesecake.
Cheesecake, yeah.
Do you like the Jell-O no-bake cheesecake?
I do. I love it.
I love that stuff.
So good.
I probably shouldn't, but I do.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It might be one of my favorite cheesecakes. I should have just put Jell-O cheesecake. So, yeah, that is mine. Ryan, you ready, buddy? No. He's like, I need more time.
No, I'm good.
He's going to give us his on episode 100.
I think I'm good. You want me to go right now? Is that why you called my name?
2 apps.
All right, my 2 apps. I am going with prosciutto and melon.
Oh, gosh. How do you spell prosciutto? I don't even know.
Prosciutto.
All right.
Slow it down.
All right. I'm just going to guess.
All right, prosciutto and melon, which is meat. It's basically like a bacon, but cured
Ooh,
bacon. It's not cooked. It's not fried. It's not. It's just. It's like raw, but it's cured.
Is that what Butcher's Union does? Their appetizer? That
they definitely have
bacon?
prosciutto. Yeah.
They call it bacon, I think, but it's probably the same, or no?
They don't know how to cook meat.
I mean, they might. Prosciutto is not cooked. It's not.
Oh, okay.
So that's the only difference. But it might be like cooked prosciutto.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
You
Can you just put your paper down?
Oh, was that blocking
the camera
view?
Yeah.
All right. But anyways, like the salty sweet mix with the melon. Oh,
so like, what kind of melon? Like the orange one?
Yeah.
Or the green one?
No, the orange. Yeah, which is
muskmelon.
It's muskmelon. Yeah.
I love muskmelon.
Isn't there another? Don't they?
Honeydew.
Honeydew melon. Oh no, honeydew is the white.
Green. I would say green.
Green. You're right. Green. I don't know. There's another name for the orange one, but
we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, that they do the orange melon with the prosciutto, and it is so good. It's a perfect mixture.
Really?
Yeah. And the prosciutto that's like where it's pig, and they feed the pig acorns for like the last 2 or 3 months for its life, and they basically like they basically like kill the pig by feeding it like overfeeding acorns, and it gives it the flavor that it's really nice. So I want as much of that as possible.
That is so crazy.
The more pigs that die from acorns, the better. People might hate me for that, but I don't care. It's really
PETA
good.
Doesn't listen. I've made sure of it. So.
All right, perfect.
So hold on, tiramisu. Both your sisters said they're lady fingers. What?
Lady fingers are like
what is that?
Angel food cake, I think.
I'm asking.
Maybe.
I'm asking them, but they said
you can have
fingers?
like a cake with tiramisu. It works that way, but that's not what it is. It's really like the cream of that whole thing. It's like creme brulee without the top.
I want to know Wikipedia. What Wikipedia says tiramisu is.
It's
we
like
gotta get that answer here before we get into.
It's
our
like
draft.
Oh frick!
One of them says it's kind of a cookie.
No.
Lady fingers are kind of a cookie.
This is like completely different stuff here. We're getting false information.
There's solid in there. There is solid in there, but it's more of like whipped. It's like whipped egg is the difference.
Whipped.
Yeah, with tiramisu, it's like whipped egg, and that's like the consistency that you'll get out of tiramisu with like a pudding. Mix that with a pudding, and you got tiramisu.
All right.
That sounds difficult.
Okay,
what were you moving on to?
So many different things. All right, so we're on his first course.
First course, I'm going with Parmesan risotto, and that will be with truffles, black truffles.
Jeez,
and it's
complicated over here.
Phenomenal. So, 2 of the best meals I've ever had in my entire life was truffled Parmesan risotto, and it was like I couldn't even. I would take one bite at a time. I put my fork down and just like sulk in the goodness of what I was eating. It was so good, and they served it like they made it in front of us on like a wheel of Parmesan cheese, and
I
it
do
was
like wheels
it
of
was
Parmesan cheese. I think.
incredible.
Was
it
this on
was so
one
good.
of your vacation, not vacation trips?
Yeah, it was a vacation for
All right.
sure. according
Before
to Sam
before we
Sanders.
move on to your two family style sides, John, did you pull up what exactly tiramisu is?
It is indeed lady fingers.
Oh, somebody Googled that. That
Soap-
was Carrie. Carrie was the
soap-
one that said it was lady fingers, right?
No, both your sisters said it was
They
lady
both said it was
fingers.
lady fingers.
Lady fingers soaked in espresso and rum are stacked, spread with mascarpone. Ah.
NASCAR?
Yeah.
Going back to Jimmy Johnson or Johnny Johnson? Is that what we're talking about?
Mascarpone.
And dusted with cocoa in our version of this traditional Italian dessert.
Yeah, but the picture you see right there, like a lot of times they throw that in a bowl and they mix the whole thing. So then it's not like you're getting a cake in there. The more common way you're going to get this is more of like a bowl. It's been mixed all together, and you're going to get chunks of different cake.
I think the most important thing about this whole dessert of we're talking tiramisu here is the cocoa and like the coffee
Oh yeah,
side
it's
of
there.
it.
Yeah,
So important to end a meal.
so good.
Coffee after a meal is seriously the best thing that I never take advantage of. I don't know why. I never do it.
Europeans do it all the time.
I know.
You
It should
should
be
do
it
it.
should be what happens all the time.
Yeah.
But that would be a great way to go.
It's because you like craft beer, Sam.
I do love craft
Anybody
beer.
want a coffee?
Coffee, a little cafe, a little Nespresso.
Me.
Oh, a Nespresso.
Me,
After my
I do.
coffee. I don't know
It's
what's
me,
going on
yeah.
here. All right, Ryan, we are on your two family sides.
I don't care if these are family size or not.
I don't
First
know.
ones I'm doing are mussels.
Muscles.
Nice.
Nah, just mussels.
So
Without
side
the
of
C.
guns.
That seems like more of an appetizer to me.
I don't care. Like I said,
Okay,
He said he
whatever.
didn't
This is your
care.
meal. This
yeah,
is your
I don't
championship
know
meal.
what family style means. I
You
think
won
you're
the Masters. You can do
forcing
whatever
me.
the heck
You're
you want,
forcing
Ryan.
me down a route with like family style sides, and I'm not going that.
I just
route.
went off of what the Masters says to do.
If I have
okay?
a side, I want a side of mussels. So that's
I
what
would
I'm
love
gonna
a
do.
side of muscles. I just don't have enough on my side.
I'm
Nice.
working on it, dude.
Very
I've been
nice.
trying to work out lately. I'm getting a side of mussels over here. With
He's
my
been
arms.
riding his
Very
dirt
good.
bike or
Not
mountain
dirt bike. Yeah, there you
mountain
go.
bike.
It's dirt
And then
bike.
the next one I'm gonna do is white asparagus with hollandaise sauce.
What is
white.
white asparagus?
It's like green asparagus, just
But it's
white.
white?
Yeah.
So
White
what's the
asparagus
taste
matters.
difference?
All right. So the taste difference is
No?
Albino.
I would say the white asparagus, when it's done right, it has a shorter window of opportunity when you can pick it and when it's good. But when it's done right, it is creamier. It's less like stringy, I guess, than like normal asparagus would be.
Does your pea smell differently with white asparagus rather than green asparagus?
Yeah, it's white.
Personal experience, it's just whiter. Yeah.
Is it?
No, it smells the same to me.
He bought it. All right.
I just moved on. I didn't
No,
listen. What did he say?
It
What
is
was
so
his
good
answer? I don't
though,
even know.
and it is mostly like late April and through like mid-May. That's basically the time when you get perfect white asparagus.
Alrighty. Main course.
I will go with steak Florentine, which is kind of like what Micah was bringing up with what did you bring up? Sorry.
Tomahawk ribeye.
Yeah, with the tomahawk, it's super rare. Kind of rare, and it's cut up right in front of you on a platter, and it's
What did you
like
call it again?
in slabs. It's Florentine steak.
Florentine.
It comes from Florence. It's steak,
Hmm.
and it almost like they cook it in front of you, and the farther you go on, like it'll cook as you go, and it was so good. I mean, I you could go exactly with what Mike was saying too. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think with a main course, I feel like steak is the way to go with this.
I mean, how could you not like a piece of meat that looks like that?
Is that the Florentine steak?
No,
Oh
it's
my
a
goodness.
tomahawk.
Oh yeah, that's so good.
Sorry, not everyone
I
can see
agree
that.
with you. It's just
Google it.
Like, steak is steak, so it's good either way. And then I'm gonna go on to dessert, and I will go with creme brulee. And it really is between
Well
creme.
done.
It really is between creme brulee and what we were tiramisu. Like if I see either one of those on a menu, I have a reputation at work to always get one of those two, no matter what. Like if somebody's like, dessert, and everybody's like, no, I'm good without it, and I look at it, I'm like, oh frick, there's
'Kay.
creme brulee on there. Like I will order a creme brulee.
Here's a quick shout out. Wondering if you've been there for this one. It's lemon creme brulee down at Grand Rapids Brewing Company.
lemon creme brulee.
It is to die for.
I've never had it.
You have got to try it.
I've never had it. What is the lemon? Is that in like the toasted part in like the solid?
I don't know. It's not overdone, so it's not too lemony. It's just got that little bit of, that little bit of pop in there. It's so good.
So quick story. While I was in Germany one of the times, so I was at like this trade show for the pharmaceutical industry. I would go from booth to booth. They had like their top chefs at each one of these booths, like 2-story. You would go there for dinner, for lunch, and they would put on a 5-course, 7-course meal for you. It was It was literally insane. But they would have these like almost like tiramisu offs. Like they would compete against each other to see who had, especially the Italian companies, they would see who has the best Italian tiramisu, and they would just rave about these with their top cooks, and they would invite us over, and I would go from booth to booth to booth, which again, 2 stories, basically restaurant style. So it's not necessarily a booth. They've got like 20,000 square feet, but they would invite us in, and we would go from one booth to another, tiramisu over and over and over, and then basically I would just tell them all in the end that theirs was the best. And they would all like have this big old smile on their face.
But they were really, really good, right?
Oh my gosh,
just unreal.
Phenomenal, yeah. So good.
Was tiramisu yours?
Creme brulee.
Creme brulee was okay. So we got back on the confusion.
And the reason is because creme brulee is a little less filling, so it doesn't matter what you've had throughout this meal.
If
you're stuffed, you can still go to creme brulee.
Yeah, no, I love me some creme brulee for sure. So yours was bruschetta and melon, Parmesan risotto,
prosciutto.
All right, same thing.
No, bruschetta is actually a really good dish. It's more like tomato based with like a toasted.
Let him have his moment.
Just let me
just
finish this segment here.
A wafer.
Your 2 family style sides, mussels, and white asparagus, not green.
The best part.
Your main course was Florentine steak, and then creme brulee for dessert. John, do you happen to have yours available? Do you have yours?
I do, but first I have to question Dustin Johnson. I'm from Michigan, where vegetables are good to eat, like in the fall. What are spring vegetables?
No idea. My guess would be like
strawberries.
I have no guess what spring vegetables are.
Strawberries are not a vegetable.
I'll have to ask his wife. What's her name?
Paulina Gretzky.
Okay.
I did not know why I know.
How do you know that so fast?
It's because Mike is
cute.
Mike is Googling pictures of steak, and I'm over here Googling pictures of golfers' wives. So I don't know.
Hey, that's my computer.
Hey.
Also asparagus, spring veggie.
Different pieces of meat.
White asparagus.
All right. Not
all right.
any other color.
I'll agree with Sam. I'm a huge mozzarella stick guy. Ever since I got an air fryer, I eat those almost every night. I'm not lying.
I've never done them in the air fryer. I should probably do that.
Be genius.
Every night.
I'm not
He's
lying.
gonna go home
Not
tonight.
lying.
Every time I'm at
Have some hot sticks.
Family Fair, I grab like 3 or 4 boxes and things. Warm bread with garlic butter.
Ooh.
As like an appetizer.
That's a great choice.
Yeah. I'm thinking.
I love bread pre-meal. I love places that give you free bread.
Yeah,
That's just
like
a win.
Walker Roadhouse.
Like every place.
If I'm at the
free bread, I don't know what.
If I'm at the Masters, I'm dressing up nice. I want things that might like throw stains on the clothes.
Wait, hold on. Did
What?
I even say 2 of my apps? I think I only got through one of them.
Oh, you don't get the
Brian,
list
your
4.
Your ship has sailed, buddy.
I'll come
you already
back.
Lost the championship.
I'll come back.
No, you said bruschetta and
no.
prosciutto and melon. That's 2
It's the
Yeah,
same
that's
thing.
one dish, dude.
Okay.
The other one would be escargot
That's your fault,
with
not
garlic butter and bread. But yeah, I mean, go ahead. Go ahead,
no,
John. I agree with you.
Want to try this?
Great
This
combos.
one?
I would like to.
All right.
Please.
Tell us what it is once John's done.
My first course would be bacon wrapped duck. If you've never had it, then you're missing out on life.
I have had that. It's really good.
My sides, I'm gonna also kind of lean here with Dustin Johnson and Sam. Mashed potatoes, but there better be just a pile of gravy on top.
Oh, I'm not a gravy guy.
Oh, and
That's
the
what
other
the corn juice is for.
the other side, and this is I mean, she's not listening. But shout out to my grandma, homemade applesauce.
She's not a listener?
She's not on the book.
She actually just commented that she is listening.
She's offended that you didn't think she was listening.
She doesn't have a smartphone. Yeah, maybe some dial-up if we're lucky. Main course, barbecue ribs.
Ooh.
Again,
Very nice.
If I'm going to be golfing all weekend, I want my hands to get dirty the night before. Like, get that out of the way. Clean golf ball, clean glove. And dessert, yellow cake, chocolate frosting, mint chocolate chip ice cream.
So
Well
you
done,
stuck
John.
with that mint chocolate chip ice cream there. That is my daughter's favorite. She loves that ice cream so much. Which
She loves
You
it?
can't go wrong with mint chocolate chip. It's a solid choice. But what I wanted to do now is we'll jump over to our betting hero segment. And basically, what I want people to know here is I know March Madness is winding down, but there are still some great deals out there to sign up for these different. I mean, so many different places to bet on sports, right, Ryan? And Betting Hero is the place to do that. So you go to bettinghero.com,
Yes.
sign up. MI Bets is the promo code to sign up on Betting Hero, and you'll get a full list of all of the available places to sign up in the state of Michigan and all of the current promotions. So if you signed up for DraftKings 6 weeks ago and you're out of money, don't put more money back in that account. Go over to MGM and get their bonus. Get their new user bonus. You get all that kind of stuff. Go to bettinghero.com. They'll have all of the best available promotions in the state of Michigan, and you'll get a lot of free money.
And it simplifies it for you. It has every legal mobile app sports betting option that you have in the state of Michigan. It lays each one of them out for you, and it's not just a first-time user bonus. They keep doing these re-ups because they're trying to keep people going.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you've already spent your first-time promotion on, like maybe the Super Bowl or March Madness or something along those lines, like the big sports games. They will always be coming out week after week with something available for everybody as you go. And the other side of this is the best way to support State of My Sports. If you go to bettinghero.com, promo code MIBETS, this is the best way to support this channel, this podcast, all of us, I guess. And if you appreciate what we're doing, go ahead and do that, and it goes a long way. Yeah,
for sure. And you sign up for, obviously, Betting Hero, and then you use their links to sign up for MGM, Fox Bets, DraftKings, whatever, what's the other, FanDuel. They're all there. So if you sign up through their website, after you use our promo code, sign up, deposit some money, start betting on some of these games, make these games more fun to watch, and it really helps us out a ton. So like usual, what we're gonna do is give you Trav's pick of the week. He has the under in the Tigers game tomorrow. He doesn't know what it's set at, but he's just he's convinced that the under is the way to go. And my Wednesday parlay, I have the Tigers win because why not? That's just fun. You got the Nationals; they're gonna win. You got Scherzer against Smiley. Last time I checked, so that's kind of fun with two former Tigers going against each other. I'm gonna take Scherzer on that one. Take the over in the Oilers Sens. My guess is gonna be 6 ±6. Try to get that 6.5. 7. You never know. Take that over in that, and then the Leafs -1.5. That one seems like a really, really fun one here. So what we got to do now is we're gonna finish our Betting Hero segment with a little bit of a draft here. We got to figure out the order though, Micah. I apologize.
I'm on it.
Oh, you're already on it. I just caught a glimpse of your phone, and you're on it there. So let's tell us who is gonna draft first.
Ryan,
he gets the number 1 pick, and then we're gonna move down to.
Thank you. I earned that.
Yeah, you did with a nice spin of the wheel.
Me.
Micah is the 2nd overall pick, and then Mirjan.
Boy, that's a long spin for an app.
Alrighty.
Boy, I landed on Ryan again. It sounds like we're gonna go Ryan.
Ryan,
Me.
Ryan,
no,
Micah,
no,
Ryan.
no,
Got
that's
it.
not how this works.
Marked it down.
That's not how this works. Ryan, we do need to get the music going as soon as we start our draft, though. And then our pick is in, too,
I don't know what that means.
Gentlemen,
NFL draft.
we are going to
NFL Live.
resort to rock, paper, scissors if
right, John,
this
you
keeps
ready?
happening.
Are you ready?
Best of 3
Let's
or
do it
best
right
of
now.
5?
Best of 3.
No, just best of 3. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper.
This is
John.
terrible radio.
One more time. Rock, paper, scissors.
This is good TV, though.
Oh,
I gotta
1-1.
say.
1-1. All right, here we go. Comes down to this. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
So they are currently going through
Yeah!
three different.
I want the
Samuel-
fourth pick. I want the fourth pick.
Oh, all right. There it is. So, Johnny, you got the third.
Ryan's trying to get excited with this.
I don't know.
Snake draft? or
Snake
what?
draft.
Yeah.
Snake draft. All right, so Ryan, can you hit the NFL Live music?
This is probably going to be wrong.
Nope, that's right. And then get ready to get the pick is in number 2.
Oh, I got it. Don't worry about that one. I got it.
Alrighty. So, Ryan, you're on the clock, buddy. You get the first overall pick with our Masters fearsome foursome. So how this is going to work is we're going to draft our 4 players. Whoever has the lowest number when you combine all of their finish. So basically 1. If you get first, you got a 1. Basically, whoever has the lowest out of the 4 wins. Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense.
All right, perfect. I'm glad it makes sense to everybody.
You guys are doing great.
Thanks. All right, Ryan, you are on the clock with your first overall pick.
Can you explain that last thing you just talked
Nope,
about?
just make a pick.
So, I mean, I feel like with the first overall pick, I'm pressured into taking Dustin Johnson because he is the world's number 1 right now.
Well, you didn't say your pick is in yet.
I know, I'm still talking.
I know.
Still talking.
I was
But
just
Jordan
explaining.
Spieth just came off of a big W, and
First
he's
win.
done this before, right? Does he
I
have
don't
the
thi-
Masters win
Has he
before?
won the Masters?
So, I mean, it's a big deal. He does have a Masters win. I checked by John nodding his head, yes. So, that means it's true. The pick is in right now. I'm going to keep it simple, not overthinking it. I'm going Dustin Johnson.
That's a good pick. It makes sense. Back to back. You never know. All right, Micah, you're on the clock.
Pick is in. I'm going to go with Jordan Spieth.
Take him, baby.
Hot hand, even though it took him a long time.
What is that? His first win since 2017 or something like that?
It was
I don't
crazy. Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Not
hating
17,
it.
was it?
I thought
Or
it was, but I could be wrong on that.
It might be, and that's insane. 4 years.
All right, Johnny, you're on the clock.
Pick is in. No brainer. Justin Thomas.
Ooh.
Not bad, not bad.
Very,
Alrighty.
very accurate off the tee. You need that at Augusta National.
Alrighty. That means I'm on the clock here. I'm going to go. Sorry. Man, my pick's in. I'm going to go Bryson DeChambeau. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the guy, but.
But you want him on your team.
Yeah. I mean, he's. The course doesn't fit his game, and I get that. But at the same time, you can't hate on something like that. So my second pick is in.
Oh, hold on.
There we go. I'm gonna go Brooks Koepka.
Ooh, nice.
Fresh off of knee surgery.
Oh no, is your see? This is the kind of stuff I don't know. This
I,
sucks.
I love that pick.
Dang it. Well, that's when you know I don't pay attention to golf. All right, John, you're on the clock.
Pick is in. This green jacket has eluded this golfer. He needs to win this major.
Big time.
It's going Rory.
A little bit of Irish in him.
For sure.
Rory McIlroy.
Oh, I wish I would have taken him now.
That was a dumb pick that you didn't take him. Not sure why you didn't.
Thanks, Ryan.
You hated that.
I'm so mad right now. All righty.
Everybody knows Koepka had knee surgery,
Yeah, everybody knew that.
including me.
Till he wins and everybody's like, whoa, what the? All righty.
Oh, jeez.
All right, pick is in. Give me John Rahm.
John Rahm.
Him and his wife just had a baby on Sunday.
Oh,
This would be-
storybook.
It would be a good way to cap it.
Storybook. How come you don't tell us this before the show
Because everyone
starts, John?
knows. Everyone knows.
All right, Ryan, you got back-to-back picks here to finish your foursome, right? No, never mind.
Not-
Made that up.
Not quite.
You'll get 2 and 3 here.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be
I don't
3/4
know
of the way
where-
there.
I don't even know what I'm
75%. Pick is in. I will go with Patrick Reed.
Ooh. Only the most hated player on tour.
Perfect.
Yeah, for
That's
real.
exactly the guy I want.
He likes to dig deep into the rule book.
So do I.
All right, you
So
said
do
Patrick
I.
Reed.
Patrick Reed.
28-1 odds.
Man, Matsuyama might be a good pick here.
You're on the clock, buddy. This is up to you.
He's got repeatable form there. He's
Repetible.
good. Repeatable.
Repetible. Repetible
Get out of
phrase.
here. All right, pick is in. I pushed it, I promise.
There it is.
Justin Rose.
Ooh.
Why? Because I know his name and I feel like he'll do good.
Alrighty. I don't even see him on the list. What are his odds?
70 to 1.
70-1. You went all the way down there. We need the music, Ryan.
I wanted it.
Well, you got it.
You got him. You could
I
have
was
got
gonna
him.
go with Ian
You could have got him with
Poulter,
your last
but,
pick
yeah.
too. But
All right, pick us up. Give me Lee Westwood.
dang it! I wanted that guy. I thought I was gonna give him my last pick.
He's got the best looking caddy on tour.
What's her name? His name.
27-year-old girlfriend or something. I don't
Tom
know.
Brady.
Oh, I did hear about that.
Fiance.
He actually came close to winning a major though.
Yeah.
What was it? The Players that he almost won?
Yeah.
Wait, it is a girl?
It's not Paulina.
No.
Dude, she looks like Paulina in a way, though.
Who would win in that match?
Say no more. Say no more.
Oh, Paulina all day.
Okay. All right. Alrighty, John. You're on the clock.
Pick us in.
Justin Rose is taken, by the way. Don't take him.
I know.
In honor of Travis Nickel and Westside Chambers Sports League, I'm going with Sung J M.
That makes sense.
Look out. Dude can ball.
I was totally going to do the same thing.
The thing with him is like he's not gonna win, but he's gonna finish in the top 10, no question.
He
Whatever,
might not
dude.
win, but he might M.
He's going to be sung.
Who will be sunging after the fat lady sung or something like that? I don't know.
Jay?
No, I think it might help with, like, Stop Asian Hate, you know? He'll win it.
Oh, heck yeah, dude. It's perfect timing.
All right,
Storybook ending.
my pick is in. There it is. Hopefully, he didn't have knee surgery. Tony Finau.
Oh, he's the one
Knee
that
surgery.
he's the one that blew out his ankle and then like popped
No,
it back
you-
into place.
You're making this up.
I swear, look it
Oh
up.
my gosh, what is going on with you?
No, it was a couple years ago. It was a couple years ago.
All right, perfect. So we're good. We're good. All right, so that is my third pick, and my fourth. You said, oh man, Lee Westwood's already gone. My pick
I'm
is
making
in, I
him
guess.
pick.
Hideki Matsuyama.
Matsuyama.
Whatever. Asian lives matter.
That was better pronunciation than Tangelo.
Hideki Matsuyama.
What about Phil? Anybody taking Phil?
No.
If we had to pick one that was 40 and up, I'm grabbing him for sure.
Wait, where are you grabbing him?
Not a bad spot.
You're on the clock.
Oh, boy.
John,
Pick us in.
you going can't play?
No. Nope. This is a reach. Max Homa, 80 to 1 odds.
Oh,
Whoa. Not on my
Where?
radar.
Max Homa. What a foba.
No, he's got great iron game. Great iron game. He might not drive the ball the furthest, Bryson on the course, but
Nobody
Yeah.
can. Wow, that's a name. That is a name. He does exist. Micah, your last pick.
Ooh. All right, pick us in. I will take Patrick Cantlay.
He can't lay up, baby, because he's too good. That's what I think of every time I say his name. Patrick Cantlay, 22-1 odds. Alrighty, Ryan, you get the last pick, and this is the guy that's going to win the tournament. You know that, right? He's the Mr.
Yeah, I'm aware of that, dude. What the heck?
Dude.
Yeah, get it, dude.
Dude.
Hey,
come on, dude.
Quick question: Where's the dude sponsored by Puma? Where's that dude?
Ricky Fowler?
Yeah,
Pretty
where is
Ricky?
he? Is he
Where
even
is
on
he?
here?
I'm not seeing him anywhere.
Is he hurt?
He's
Must
got
have
a
blew out his
really-
knee as well.
He's done a really good job in the girlfriend/wife, maybe potentially department.
If you're into brunettes, you got to pick Ricky Fowler.
Where
that's-
is he even on the
that's what I'm
list?
saying- that's what I'm
Is he
saying.
playing? I don't
You
even
know
see
what?
him on our list.
You know what? I don't care if he's playing or not.
Oh, come on.
I'm taking
No,
Ricky.
no, no,
the
no,
pick
no,
is
no,
in.
no. Is he playing?
The pick is in, and it's obviously Ricky Fowler. Dude is freaking sweet. He did a great job with his choice of mate, and he also likes motocross/supercross, so can't go wrong with that pick.
Are you just judging that because of his hat? You think he likes motocross?
No, I know he loves motocross/supercross,
All
and
right.
I know he's done a great job with his
All right,
mate.
hold on. Don't restart the music. We got to figure out if this guy's even playing.
I don't care if he's playing. He's done a great job with his mate.
You're going to lose if he doesn't play, because that's worth 675 points.
What's his
I
wife's
just made
name,
that
guys?
rule up. I don't think he's married, is he? Is Ricky Fowler married?
I think just engaged.
Just engaged. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, like, I think Aaron Rodgers been engaged like 3 times.
Google just taught me that he doesn't spell his name with a Y either. It's I-E, Ricky.
Dude, I think he's married, and it's
Maybe that's why he's not playing.
a
His
pole
wife won't
vault,
let
a
him.
pole vaulter who is good at golf.
First article that comes up on Google, Ricky Fowler has been struggling so badly on the greens he can't even pull a pin out.
Oh, he can't pull
Ooh.
out. Poor guy.
I mean,
he's gonna have a baby before we know it.
I don't care. I'm taking Ricky Fowler.
I don't think he's playing. So I'm
All
just.
right, backup plan: Bubba Watson.
He is going to be watching the tournament from home.
All right, we need
All right.
we need a new pick.
Pick is in.
Bubba. We don't even have the music
Hey,
going
he's,
anywhere.
he's got 2 jackets,
Hold on.
Bubba.
Is-
Bubba Watson.
Hold on. Is Gilmore still on the board?
Gilmore. You're not on the list?
Gilmore happy?
Nope. Well, better luck next year.
Bubba Watson.
Cheers to that one. All right. All right, we're gonna have to get into our beer grades here, Ryan. What do you think about that?
I'm thinking there's something I need to do,
gotta
and if you
keep
could
that-
just spell it out
That
for
happy
me.
finger. Keep that happy finger rolling.
I'm thinking beer grade.
It is time to grade our Michigan beers for this episode, but before we do, I want to once again remind everyone of our partner, Siciliano's Market. They are simply the best beer store in West Michigan, located on Lake Michigan Drive, right between Grand Valley State University's main campus in downtown Grand Rapids. Wherever you live in West Michigan, it is worth the short drive for what they have to offer. Whether you know what you want or you need some help from their expert staff, Siciliano's Market is the best place for that. They not only have a massive and up-to-date inventory of the best craft beers from across our great nation, they're individually priced so you can mix and match to build your own six-pack. Along with their great selection of craft beer, they have specialty wines, spirits, ciders, coffee, tea, tobacco, and cigars. They also have the largest selection of homebrew and winemaking supplies in West Michigan. We love that Siciliano's Market is part of the State of My Sports family and is who we visit to help us choose our Michigan beers for each and every episode. So please check them out and let them know that we sent you. Alrighty. That was a fun episode so far, but we do have to get into our beer grades. What's going on over there? You guys are giggling about something.
I'll show you later. It's hilarious. Classic
It's
Illinois.
just a funny thing.
It's not Ricky Fowler's fiance, is it?
She is not funny. Okay, that's serious business.
She's nice.
All right, Ryan, can you remind everybody what you're drinking and give it a nice little grade?
Yeah, M43. This is from Old Nation Brewing Company, and just to go through some of the hops because they have so many listed here. Calypso, Amarillo, Citra, and then the dry hops Citra, Amarillo, and Simcoe. So I know I listed 2 of them, but 2 of them were boiled, and then 2 of them were dried. So the Calypso and Amarillo were both, or maybe it was Citra. I don't know, man. I've been enjoying this this M43.
Killing it.
I honestly don't. I'm over.
No, that is a good beer.
It's
You're not overrating it because you're
It's a
feeling
phenomenal beer. It really, really is. It's so easy to drink. It has great flavor to it. This is one of my favorite beers, and I don't know if this is too high.
Nope,
or
it's not. That is such a great beer.
Or what? But I'm gonna go a 9.0.
Oof.
And I know
Nice.
that's high, but it's worth it. M43
that
guys.
almost beat your lemon water. At 9.1.
Well, it's not. I wouldn't say quite lemon water quality, but lemon water is great
Not
on a
as
hot
pure.
summer day and also a cold winter night. So I'm just M43 9.0.
Well done.
That's a good score. I like that. I like that one a lot. All right, Micah, what are you drinking? Give it a nice little grade.
Yeah. From Big Lake Brewing, drinking Tangerine Haze, their juicy New England IPA. And you all right over there? All right, perfect. It's got Citra and Mosaic hops, and it's brewed with a lot of real tangerines, and it's got an American flag. I love it. It's great.
You can.
Hopefully you see it.
I think my mic's
so-
on. I'm just talking like it's not. Sorry.
I don't see an alcohol by volume content on the label, but it's good. I feel great on a Tuesday. I'm going to go with a 7.3.
That's a good score. 7.3 is not bad. Just bump it a little bit. All right, we're having YouTube troubles here because I'm just a disaster and bumping everything and stuff goes on.
I have no idea.
Did you bump that, Sam? You moved the
I guess
the
I
camera?
did. I don't know how I bumped that
What the
camera. 'Cause
heck, dude?
I knocked the glass down and the glass hit it, and it was just a big.
What a
Big
rookie
ordeal.
move.
But John's not doing a good job at readjusting. He's got to go the other direction. This is live stuff. This is how it rolls. You can touch the. Somebody else talk while I do this.
Are you gonna introduce?
Nobody's talking.
Yeah. So
Pretty sure it's
Sam's-
your turn to
Yes.
introduce your beer, Sam.
So Sam's making a few adjustments, and
Did I get it right?
he's just trying to.
Should I go on to
trying
the
to fix it up.
Arvon?
This is just how it works.
Honestly.
sometimes.
I'll
I
go.
mean,
I'll go on to the
when we don't
Arvon.
have-
Yeah.
I'll go on to the
Three
Arvon
weeks
beer.
off. 3 weeks off, right?
3 weeks off. I don't know how to do this anymore. It's so confusing. No,
All
all
right.
right. I'm in. I'm in, Ryan.
All right,
you don't have
Sam's
to worry
in.
about it. All right, so I am drinking from Shorts Brew, the Double Soft Parade. It is their fruit ale brewed with double the strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries. I mean, obviously we all know Shorts Brewing Company is in Oak Rapids, Michigan. It's so all right. I don't want to hate on this beer too much, but I think I
Oh.
might.
Whoa.
And this, it's not about. I mean, Shorts does a good job, and Soft Parade is a great beer. So I think my expectations were a little too high. All I can taste when I drink this are the blackberries, and that's a little too strong for me, and it hurts the grade a little bit. I'm gonna go with a 6.5, which is not a good score, and I feel bad. I feel bad with it, but at the same time, it's just. I think I set Soft Parade as how it is as a much
you
higher
love
grade.
Soft Parade.
I'm a big fan of that
just
beer.
like everyone else does.
Yeah, so like that's where I'm like, I kind of compare it to the two-hearted compared to the double-hearted type thing.
Yeah.
Where I don't think double-hearted was good at all. And that's
Or
kind of
even,
where I'm at
or
with
even
this.
like lighthearted.
Exactly.
Just
I
stick
thought
with
lighthearted
two-hearted.
was a little better, but two-hearted was like it was what it should be, and I feel like Soft Parade is done so perfectly that the double, like, I don't know. I don't know. It's just it didn't do what it should have done. Too much fruit, too much blackberry.
What's the grade?
I think that's the key. 6.5 is what I gave it, which is pretty low.
Yeah.
Have you rated Soft Parade?
I don't know if I have actually. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
Next episode.
Well, that's episode 100, and that's a whole different ballgame.
Oh, sorry.
another
I won't-
animal.
I won't go into that.
So, anyways, we're all drinking something else. Ryan, you want to tell everybody what we're drinking here?
Yeah. Peep Patch.
So good.
It's like the worst thing to say with a microphone. Peep Patch. Yeah, it
Red.
gets
A lot
that.
of red.
Yeah.
A lot of red.
This is from Arvon Brewing Company, and I want to give it a proper introduction, but I won't.
Okay. Well,
5.0 alcohol by volume. This is canned with fruit in it.
it is canned with fruit. That is a key. That is a great point. So this is
Thank you.
part of their kind of like Easter release that came out on Wednesday.
It's very
and started
peepy and
peeling,
patchy.
pouring. But their peat patch is a 7 or 5% alcohol by volume. It's their kettle sour with blueberries, strawberries, peeps.
That wasn't me, was it?
And their lactose. What's going on? What's going on over here?
I have no idea.
Did I just repeat everything you said?
No,
I gotta know what's
No,
going on.
I didn't say that. I promise.
Okay.
I think you just slipped a Paul Pierce reference in
Oh,
there.
Paul Pierce. What a garbage human.
Well, I mean, don't get too hard.
Man.
Yet.
We haven't gotten to this point in an episode in a long time.
You know how the lion signed corn, elder?
You just said that same thing with the P.
Elder corn. What?
Okay,
Did I say porn?
I wondered if he
Did I say
did.
porn?
Well, that's 3 times. All right.
What was I supposed to say? Peeps? Like, I'm so confused about what I said.
Sam's pick is in.
All right, let's somebody grade the Peeps version of this beer.
Dude,
Ryan, just start with the Peeps.
yeah. Peep patch.
Peep patch. What did I say? You guys are just.
For some reason you said porn. I don't know why you said it.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys
However-
are making this up.
No. However, this is
Kind of like
A-
Kyle with the male watching thing that he keeps bringing.
that's not made up. I'll go dig it out. So
Couldn't find it.
this is phenomenal. This has so much flavor,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna give it a really, really good grade.
Oh,
I'm
where
gonna
are we
go.
going?
I'm gonna go 8.8, which I don't know if that's the highest for Arvon yet that I've given, but it deserves to be among the top.
Mike, I'm curious where you're at because I'm right around the same area.
I am in the same area. I'm going 8-9.
8-9.
Yep.
This is such a good beer. It is perfectly done. It is sour to a T for Arvon. It is absolutely perfect.
Flavor forward. Just you
but it
cannot
also-
get any more fruity flavors than this, and keep the alcohol that's in it.
But it still tastes like juice.
It tastes
So-
like juice, but it still has the beer too. It still holds true to the beer. That's so important to me.
Right. But if you don't like the beer taste, like that generic beer taste, I promise you will probably like this.
This is one you could slip by the beer snobs, the people that don't like beer, that are like, no, I don't drink beer, but that you can slip this over to.
A
Not
sour.
that I'm going to slip a drink to anybody, but
Oh, I thought you meant like
I'm
slipping your.
talking about Acorn here, or whatever his name is.
I thought you meant slipping your thermos at work. Like I could drink this stuff all day long, and
Yeah,
It's
well, I
just
mean,
juice,
5%,
dude.
it's possible. I think you guys are right on with the 8.8 and 8.9. Can I go 8.85 or no? I probably can't do that.
8.85.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to
Go
go.
first.
Just do the 9.
It rounds up
Hit the
to
9.
8.9.
I'm going to 9.0.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm going to do
There you
it.
go.
This is excellent. Love this beer. I don't know if it's a rebrand of other stuff, but like this is make this a lot, Arvon, please, because this is well done. If you guys haven't found it yet or searched it out, check out their website. They might still have some cans available that they'll deliver to you. I don't know. Ask them.
Not if Sam doesn't buy them out first.
I might buy them out. This is absolutely beautiful. Beautifully done. Love the cans, too. I don't know if you can see the can. For the people that are watching, you can see it. But it has little peeps on it. It's pink. So good. I don't know what's going on. Ryan, you're supposed to be queuing up the music here soon.
Outro
but-
music. Just keep talking for a while.
no,
I'll
but,
find,
I mean,
I'll
thank
find
you
it
guys-
in 4 minutes.
Look, episode 99, that's a big one. I know the big one's next week with episode 100. We're going to record on Tuesday. We'll all be here. Kyle's going to be back from vacation. Trav's going to join us as well. I mean, it's going to be a good time. I'm excited.
It's gonna be a rager.
We're going to kind of go back on a lot of out of the goofy stuff that
Man, I
mostly
hope so.
I have said. But,
Yeah, I hope we can
uh,
get in like all the best moments.
Yeah, so we're going to get into that, and we're going to talk some sports as well, drink some beer as well. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you guys for recording. Thank you guys for listening.
If not sooner.
We'll talk to you next week, if not sooner.
Peace.
People like to tell me
Thank you again to all our great sponsors, the House Brewing Company and Cafe, Siciliano's Market, Mac Web Design. Also, thank you to Paradise Outlaw for allowing us to use their music for our introduction, Detroit Hustle, and for our out, 6 Feet Down.